What is good, everyone out there in the social media world, the podcast world, the just everything out there world right now that we got going on? We are coming back to you with our next episode of Count the Bucket. As I'm watching a nice pass thrown by Joe Burrow here, we're very diverse in all of our sports, CJ, aren't we? I mean, I have got another basketball or a baseball show. You have another football show, and even your Guard Up podcast as well. We have to stay relevant on everything we got going on here. But how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I agree. We're all sports fans first, and we love watching different type of sports. I think it's perfect. We have football on while we're talking about basketball. They obviously intertwine. That's why the fall, I feel like it's the best time of the year.
Yeah, because right now baseball we have the playoffs going on.
Yeah, it's the end of something great and the beginnings of something great with different leagues. So
I like that.
Yeah,
the end of something great, the beginning of something great.
That's
right. It's definitely a great time. Of course, with college football going on, this coming Friday, actually, Kentucky basketball, as you can see above me, you podcasters can't see it, but we actually have our Big Blue Madness going on. I actually have somebody who's offering me a ticket to go. I'm a little torn. Hopefully my wife is not watching this at the moment, but it's on my twins' birthday and my wife's birthday. It's this Friday, the 14th, October 14th, so I don't know if I can go. I'm trying to feel her out and see if she says yes, but she's not answering me twice that I've mentioned it to her. So I'm thinking it's a no, but I just don't want to accept that. So they have to pass that up. But it's a great time to be a sports fan with everything that's going on. Sunday night football with Baltimore and the Bengals going on right now. Of course, we just had the Padres, I think they were winning last I seen today in the MLB playoffs. So, and now we are 2 weeks away with our preseason going on with the NBA. And so much happened this week, I think, in the NBA alone. So much drama, maybe. So much anticipation happened this week, or at least on my end, because I was watching a couple highlights of a player, which I know we'll get into, won't drop the names yet, but like my jaw dropped a few times watching the highlights. I was like, oh my goodness, like I've heard you mention this man's name a few times. I'm like, okay, there's some respect there. Obviously, I know there's a lot of potential with this player. And then I've seen more highlights getting on social media. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, I am super stoked that we are 2 weeks away from the NBA. Hopefully, we were talking about it. Of course, let me go ahead and throw this out. Nick, again, is unable to join us. Again, he's down in Florida. They're still having their issues with electrical, their Wi-Fi, their everything. And honestly, since that hurricanes went through here in Kentucky, we've had some Wi-Fi problems or issues as well. And I don't know if it could be that from that hurricane, just the way they run everything. Because a few years ago, there was something happened in Nashville. I want to actually say it's probably been about 4 years ago. There was a bombing that went on. And it actually messed with their Wi-Fi here because it was one of the hubs in that area. So I don't know if this could be hurting our stuff here as well, which is fine because they need their help as much as they can. If there's lags a little bit, we can be okay with it. And look, we got a beep as we're talking about it, and all of a sudden he's here. Looky. Nick, we were just talking about you. We doing all right?
What up?
What up, man?
So we were just I was just talking about how you weren't able to join because your Wi-Fi is still out. You're walking around with your phone, we can tell. So we're able to at least use it from I'm assuming AT&T, so with a cell phone service. So welcome to the show. We missed you last week. You doing okay?
Oh dang, I'm losing her.
It's okay. We see your face.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. I just figured there might be a little bit of a lag going on.
Okay. All right, it's all good. Yeah, I'm definitely glad to be back. I know I missed last week, and I am still without Wi-Fi. I called my company. We're supposed to be getting it back turned on tomorrow, the latest. So once tomorrow hits, we're good. But
good.
Even though we have been with all the listeners, y'all should still check out the website. We got 2 articles dropping this week. Make sure y'all check that out.
Yes, sir.
You want to go ahead and brief one of us on the article you got, because I know we're going to get in. I don't know how much you'll be able to stay with us. I'm sorry, guys. I want to fix my camera.
So first one is scheduled to drop tomorrow. Is a Detroit Pistons preview. So I'm just talking about all the different dynamics from Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, just about the whole team and where the ceiling is. My predictions on them this year and where they're headed about like the next 2 or 3 years. So definitely check that out. That was like at least over 1,000 words.
Oh yeah, I saw them firsthand. I saw them firsthand against the Knicks the other night on Wednesday. So it was definitely an interesting game. They came to the Garden. They showed they played well, but we did our thing as well.
Hey man, I'm just gonna tell you this right now, CJ, bro. It ain't looking too good for Julius, bro. It ain't looking too good for Julius.
We're gonna get into that, man, for sure. Got a couple thoughts about that.
Before we get any further into any of the preseason game, let's really go ahead and jump in while we do have you, Nick, as long as we can, because we know, we understand you may lose stuff as far as service or just whatever connection we've got going on. One thing, glad you're okay. Glad some of your family is okay and everything with that. So praise on that. Let's go ahead and just jump on into your team since you're here too with the Golden State Warriors. Like, can you talk to us about what will happen with, Klay Thompson replacement and those weak knees that he got for some reason?
Well, I don't know, man. He may not be Klay's replacement no more if he wants to head out.
Oh, thank goodness. CJ's got the clip too. So as you can see, obviously you podcasters listening, thank you so much, but you won't be able to see this. Jordan Poole and Draymond Green getting some kind of, I'll say, argument. And they come up together. I mean, they're close. Jordan Poole pushes him away. And Draymond, instead of getting into the handsy pushing fight, he just dropped him. I mean, that's all you can say. Personally, when we'll bring it on up here to you on this, Nick, but like personally, if you push somebody, like that's how you start a fight. So I mean, I don't know, like in our Unwrapped Sports Network chat, a lot of the people in the basketball is like, oh, Draymond's a jerk and all this stuff. He shouldn't have been doing that. He shouldn't have punched. I'm sorry, but if you go up to a grown man and push him, there's a chance he's going to be swinging at you. So I don't know why they were surprised that Jordan Poole got punched by the way he acted. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Poole caused this. I'm not saying Draymond Green is innocent, because Draymond is the leader or is a leader on this team and should know better or have more respect of what's going on as far as his leadership role. But I'm just saying, when we look at man versus man, like, I don't know what they were really expecting on that. Did they not expect him to punch or push back or cause some kind of confrontation here? I don't know. But, Nick, let's hear from you, man. What's going on with your team? Are they in shambles now?
They're not in shambles, but, I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way back to the beginning. So, honestly, this is just my opinion. The video is kind of misleading, and what I mean by that is that it doesn't give us like the full detail of the story. Like, I think it's only a small clip of obviously Draymond's on the side over there by the on the sideline, and then of course Jordan Poole's there. Jordan Poole pushes him, and then of course Draymond punches him. But I don't think it really gives us the full story. So I read an article on The Athletic, and according to the article, of course Jordan Poole, had a great playoff or great season overall last year from season playoffs, and then of course that's when. So apparently, according to the article, he's been real big-headed, very cocky, what have you. So I guess he's been talking practice. Draymond. Here's the thing that's bad though, because Jordan Poole's getting his money, and then of course there's all these rumors surrounding Draymond whether he should be qualified for the extension or not. So I don't know if that was the reason why they started fighting, but apparently, according to the article on The Athletic, Poole has been big-headed, cocky, and what have you. And I guess Draymond had enough of it. I was talking to one of my guys a few days ago when the video first leaked, because the thing about it is that it just looks like Draymond just ups and punches him for no reason. But in my opinion, it's like there had to have been something that leads up to that. We all know Draymond to be who he is, but Draymond's not going to just up and punch somebody for no reason. Like, that's just not going to happen. But honestly, man, I mean, I don't really look at it as a big deal, man. I mean, there's been so many things that's happened in practice for decades, in the NBA. It's just that now, we live in a social media era, so everything's being recorded and everything's able to be posted. So the thing about it is that, like, for instance, bro, Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face, and it was like, back then the narrative was, oh, MJ's competitive. That's just how he is. This and that, this and that. And then Draymond does it, and now it's like, oh, Draymond's crazy and everything else. So this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what happens when you have a championship team. I'm not saying that Draymond Green should have punched him. I definitely do think that he was wrong for doing it, but at the end of the day, I feel like they can get past this. And I just hate all the narratives like who has to go. In my opinion, Draymond's not going anywhere. He's been a part of that team for his entire career. Jordan Poole's not going anywhere either. He's a part of that future. So I think in the next however many weeks as the season begins, they're in my opinion, they're gonna put it behind them and just keep going.
Well, now I did see a couple or read a couple of things that TMZ only paid or had to pay less than $10,000 for that video, which is weird. I don't know why that made news that I've seen. And then also, I did hear this one. It was on a highlight reel that they're talking about with the preseasons and stuff that they were doing, that Klay Thompson won a 3-point contest that they were playing around with fans and everything. And Klay, even during the interview afterwards, made a comment and kind of, I'll just say he smiled after it. It was a weird smile and just said, it was nice to win this 3-point competition and put Jordan in his place a little bit. And then just kind of went on about his business. And then now 3 or 4 days later, this happened. So, I mean, when people are saying that he's starting to get an attitude or his attitude has changed some, it does make you wonder what's really going on there. What do you think about it, old CJ?
Yeah, but then Steve Kerr and Steph Curry came out and said something different. So they say he hasn't been saying he hasn't been acting cocky.
Okay.
He's been professional, and that's what Steve Kerr said. So
it makes.
It's an unfortunate situation. Again, I don't know the whole story. Just like Nick said, that's a great response. I think again today we live in a reactionary world, and we always want to point fingers without having all the information. So, but it does look bad. It looks bad. Unfortunately, the video came out as well, as we see right here on the screen, and it's a bad look. It's a bad look, but when you do something like this, there's going to be consequences, and this leaks and video leaks could be are consequences of actions like this. So he can't get mad at anybody but himself because he put himself in that predicament. He does nothing gets leaked. So
of course, Anthony jumping in our comments on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining on YouTube. Guys, if you haven't followed us on YouTube, please go over there. We got the Unwrapped Sports Network that has even Anthony and CJ show, the hard count on there with all their shows as well. Mine and Anthony's backstop banter that we do as well. So, of course, you get all the notifications if you follow that. But also we have our Count the Bucket YouTube page as well. Go check all that out in case you don't catch us live. You can see that. But he drops in and says, "You bugging if you don't think that he's seeing Draymond outside in the parking lot." I understand what he's saying there, but go ahead.
Bro, come on, man. Like, I mean, I definitely get what Anthony's saying, but we got it. Jordan Poole got clocked there. Like, I'm actually surprised his jaw didn't break. I'm just gonna be honest.
Didn't they say he was in concussion protocol? Like, I mean,
no, he's playing right now. He's playing right now.
Okay,
guys. Come on, guys.
Okay, I want to say I seen something and I thought it was more or less it was.
No, I just saw him. I just saw him in there right now playing against the Lakers. He's in there.
Okay, so that was good. I'm glad that was really fake because I thought it was funny when I seen it. It's like, really, we're going to say
he's on the court. He's on the court right now. Like, he just got a pass. Yeah, he's out here. He's hooping, man.
Okay,
but yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know what made Draymond have so much anger for him to throw a swing at his teammate like that.
But see, that's where I like what Nick says though, because we just see that clip of not even too much talking to each other, but he walks over there, push, and then Mike Tyson KO, That's all that we really see. So, there's been more build up to this. It's not just this instant that happened here. There's got to been something going on. Of course, they tell us, like they talking to just strictly us at Count the Bucket. They tell media that he called Draymond Green, what was it, triple singles. I mean, there's bickering going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to believe these type of reports. I think people have been waiting for something like this to use those type of jokes and then try to call it truth.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying. So we don't know.
Right.
Apparently, I mean, things. It will come out eventually. It'll come out eventually. Whether it's
And of course,
now
Anthony even
or a
says that it
year
was a
from
cheap
now.
shot.
A cheap shot, yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I don't think Poole was expecting his teammate to swing like that. But
See, I don't even think it was really a cheap shot. I just think it went fast.
After I push somebody, like, it's pretty much.
That was a lot of anger in that punch.
There's a lot of anger, bro. But when you push somebody, after you push somebody, it's automatically defense mode. Let's rock, But yeah, it's unfortunate, but they'll grow from it. You look at both teams that are in the finals. They got a little, you know what I'm saying? They got a little stories off the court wave. What's going on?
This may be a 30 for 30
What's
in 20
going
years
on?
from
Both
now, right?
teams that were in the finals got some off-season, Wow.
Hey, with that Celtics different. That Celtics situation is something different, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
you still don't know details on that yet.
I was going to say, have we heard anything since we covered that 2 weeks ago? Has there been anything else come out?
The only thing that I've heard is apparently Nia Long is standing by his side. Good woman.
Again, I have no clue. Again, I'm waiting until the people that we so-called the experts in terms of insiders until they get their reports out and they get the information out. And there's things that we can read publicly about it for our form of full opinion. But like I said, that's sad. This situation right here is also sad. But yeah, so, they could grow from it. It's going to take a lot of patience and forgiveness from Poole's side, depending on how he looks at it. He's a professional. He's out here, like I said, he's out here playing right now in the game. He's not letting it get to him or anything like that. So again, Draymond has to pay for the consequences, and it's just unfortunate. Like I said, you don't want this to be talked about. You're the defending champions.
I mean, watch his legs on this punch here. Like, I mean, it's a full boom. It's not just an arm; it's a whole body punch.
People are gonna challenge Draymond now to celebrity boxing, man. He can make a lot of money.
I thought that. I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. What is it, Logan?
Yeah, he could do it. I think Logan offered him some money, I believe. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, I believe he tweeted at him, was like, yo, X amount of dollars, and you could be on a card. I mean, you're swinging at somebody like that. Swinging somebody like that when they're actually ready,
That makes a big difference. But also, I pulled up here and I already brought it down. But Anthony also says that Iggy and Looney are the ones that are fixing the locker room. Like, where's Steph and Clay? Where are they at? I haven't heard any on that.
Who said that? Who said that it's just Iggy and Looney that's fixing the locker room?
I'm saying, I don't know where I heard this from.
That's a new report.
I haven't heard that either.
Okay.
Not saying that I heard Steph and Clay are either. I haven't heard anyone that they're fixing the locker room.
I mean, they said the practice. Listen, I know they're going to downplay. I know Steph is going to downplay it, obviously, when he's talking to the media. That's a simple tactic strategy but listen, they're professionals. The top players on that team have been through a whole bunch of issues. Said it. Scandals, whatever you want to call it, situations, adversity. They've been through adversity. They come out from the bottom and get to the top, regardless of what goes down.
And we know this is probably not the first punch.
Wow.
So I mean,
NBA history or like just Warriors? I'm gonna say.
Well, I just even want to say in the Warriors because we already talked about
general.
Yeah. So I mean, even back in high school, there was a fight one time in their team, and it was actually. I look back at it; it was almost comical how it happened. And it was a good pivotal point for our season at that time too, because we were under 500, and we were actually finally starting to learn who we were going to be more of a defensive team. And two boys were arguing over who had who on what man-to-man, on a pick and roll, what we doing there, and they just went at it. And all of a sudden, one of them just swung. They just kind of went at it for 2 or 3 punches. We broke them up. Nobody was sent home. Nobody was, anything. It was just tension. It was like, hey, we were just being men and went on about it. And we actually went to state that year. We put it together. It kind of set the tone for how we needed to be and hold ourselves accountable, and it turned around. Now, this can't say that you can really use that as a turning point to say this is where we need to be at, but
not where we need to be at, but how we need to be.
Right. I mean, well, when you say that, I'm talking about when they fought.
Like what we should represent, and it's obviously not that. But
right.
again, they obviously didn't expect this to get leaked as well. This doesn't get leaked.
Right.
It gets talked about, but it's not really talked about as much as when everybody
Absolutely.
can see it. When everybody can see it, everybody has an opinion. What does everybody do? Go on social media and give said opinion. So it's
because let's be honest.
If
it turns out,
and how much that person got, 10,000, less than 10,000,
less than 10,000.
Are they crazy? I'm asking for, honestly, I'm saying I'm starting off at 500K.
Okay, I was like 500, dude.
Because I mean that's like really worth losing your job for. Like
I'm starting at $500,000. That's where I'm starting. I might start at $1 million. These are the champions.
I'm going to copyright that.
You got the video, one of the biggest stories.
Yeah,
in basketball.
This has been. Listen, we've let it play through at least 10 times here.
TMZ is they got to be like a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm starting now.
Absolutely.
I'm starting in the millions. Yeah, definitely.
If they don't want it, then I can lower my price, right?
Yeah. Then we'll just go. Then we'll just negotiate from there. Get to the right number.
Right. It's like retail, guys. You set your price high, then you discount it 20%. Come on.
That's all it is.
But what I think may be, what could be interesting if it turns out that we find out more information, and whatever Jordan Poole said or has done to build up to this, it's basically almost he deserved it. Now, I'm not saying that. I didn't say he did deserve it. I'm just saying, what if the information came out and he did deserve it, and what Draymond did was really being the alpha saying, hey, we are not putting up with this? Then everyone's opinion almost has to backtrack a little bit. Now, he shouldn't have knocked him out. He shouldn't have swung like that.
I can't go that.
Well, I'm just saying, like
again, like I said, now seeing the video, it makes it like without the video, it's like they could have just both been throwing down, because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, all right, they both were throwing down. Okay, cool. And now you see the video, it's like,
I mean, he almost left both of his feet on those punches.
Poole, really, I mean, obviously Poole was saying something to him, obviously, and then he just snapped, like, and I'm like, and nobody even comes in and gets in front and says anything.
No one in a hurry either. They're just like, whoa, like
I don't. Maybe they was like, oh, this is Draymond. This is typical Draymond, and they probably thought nothing of it. Maybe like, oh, this is Draymond. He does this. He does this. So, and then he
can't be doing that though.
No, he can't be doing that. Absolutely not. No way. Lamar Jackson should have had a touchdown. That's all right. But but yeah, man.
Oh.
Tough situation, but I think they'll bounce back from this. Again, this is all before the season starts, before all basketball is being played.
What do you think is going on with this? I'm seeing the deep ball pass now. Yeah, definitely should have been there. Who was that too? Oh, yes, that would have been great. He's on my team starting. But what do you think is going on with these 2 days of absence with Draymond? I mean, is that anything, or is it just basically publicity? Like, is this his punishment? Like, hey, you're suspended from us, go away? Or is he like actually trying to quote unquote find himself and get back in a good place?
2 days of absence.
Well, like he's I want to say they said 2 days. Like he's taken time away from the team for a couple of days. Let me say it that way. I don't know how long.
Nah, yeah, it's gonna be. People were saying like he might get suspended for 2 games. He's gonna miss the game against the Lakers. I think that next game is the Clippers. Those are 2 big time games he's not going to be in again because, not thinking rationally. But dang, Lamar, my goodness.
You're ahead of me. Dang it.
It's going to be, like I said, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. It's the first, it's an 82, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And they're going to be fine. Can we talk less? Another thing that was also a big part of the NBA this weekend, guys, was G League Unite versus Metropolitan 92, which is the team that Victor Wembanyama's on.
Okay.
Scoot Henderson is on the G League Ignite. He had, they both played well. They played well in this little series games. I think they played 2 games. And Wembanyama was sensational. I mean, about to show you guys the stats and how great he was, his ability. People are calling him the next great all-timer out the gate. So, and his style definitely.
There was
plays
someone,
like
and I can't remember who said it, but said if LeBron was a
special. Look at this: 37, 5 blocks, 7 threes in the first game, then 36 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks in the second game.
I mean, those great. I mean, the word special. I mean, sometimes there's words that can't really describe what you need to say. Like, special is all that I think you can really say. But when you're getting 7 threes and 5 blocks from a person, that's good. Not to mention the 37 points that's also following in that. So, I mean, the dude – yeah. So, I mean – how big is he? 7'4"? How tall is he?
He said he was 7'3".
Okay. Well, I mean, 1 inch shorter. Whoo, man. That's totally changed the story. Never mind.
He took a picture next to Gobert. Yeah, he's definitely taller than Gobert. I was like, wow.
We got Corey in here.
Victor is easily the best prospect
since Wilt. Here.
I mean, he said in the interview with Mark Jackson and Van Gundy that he was 7'3". So,
well, what's crazy is he's 18. Like, we got Giddey in the NBA now.
I would hope he just stays at 7'3", because like once you get kind of taller than that,
you can't get your body moving too fast, and that's why it's so much of a. I'm gonna say unicorn, but don't use that word to jinx him. Okay. It's so much of an anomaly, whatever the word is.
Anomaly, yeah.
Yes, that he is able to be mobile and be able to do what he does efficiently and agile, really. Let's see here. We got some more from Corey coming in here. He said he makes Gobert look small.
Yeah, he does. He's definitely taller than Gobert. Yeah,
KG said he was
7'1".
Well, isn't Kevin Durant 7'1" as well?
No, I think Kevin Durant's like 6'10",
6'10",
probably.
Okay, so that's
yeah, he's a special talent. He's a special talent, and it's just he can hit pull-up threes. He has a face-up in the mid-range, in the post-game. He has spin-around, jump shot. He could do everything. He could do everything on the court. He could pass. He could block shots, run in transition, lobs, block shots. I mean,
honestly,
shoot threes. He's like.
I know all I'm seeing is highlights, which of course is going to be his best plays.
Healthy, the one thing that people are going to do again, but he has the length and athleticism. Mm-hmm. They're going to pick on him on the pick and roll defensively. They're going to see if he can move his feet and slide his feet. If he's able to do that, and if he's able to use his length to kind of give himself space to
that's scary.
Kind of react, give himself space to kind of get back and use those blocks and get the chase downs and things like that, he should be good. He's a bigger Giannis that shoots threes. Yeah.
That's scary.
I don't think he's as fast as Giannis. I don't think his handle is as good as Giannis, but I see what you mean, though, in terms of, like, size. He's taller. He's taller than Giannis, too. It's like, it's crazy.
Who's Lamar throwing to that?
And he could get if he gets stronger, it's over. The moment he gets stronger and really, like, gets into his full NBA, measurables.
Because again, he's 18. Like, technically, his body is not done maturing. Let me use that word, because let's hopefully he's done growing. I mean, he's going to be putting on more body mass. He's going to be putting on more muscles. He's going to actually still learn to understand his body, how to maneuver it. Because when I turned, I want to say 25, I actually thought, okay, I understand what people talk about now. Once that you get more older, you understand how to control your body more. I always thought it was a big joke until I play in sports my whole life, and then I got up to 23, 25. I was like, okay, I see what they're talking about now. I totally understand this and see what's going on here. So, I mean, the man is still going to be growing so much more mature-wise, even his brain, and I feel weird even saying that. So, I mean, tank for him, absolutely.
He said,
but go ahead.
He doesn't need to put on that much more. Durant didn't have to, but he doesn't have the same type of handle Durant has.
And he's not going to be playing the same position as Durant either.
He's going to be center, power forward maybe, so he's going to need that. He's going to go up against Jokic and Embiid. Wherever conference he goes to, he's going to see those guys, one of those guys.
And Shaq coming out of retirement, play for the Lakers.
But what he could do with his ability to shoot is bring the big man out of the paint. And it creates blow bys and one-on-one matchups for everybody else. Yeah. So, he's going to, but the spacing in the NBA today,
do you think they'll do more pick and pop with him?
You could do anything. Pick and pop, pick and roll. You could do anything.
Well, see, I mean, I'm just thinking I would start out with pick and pop with him. So when they start kind of jumping up, I mean, you hit the pop a couple of times, you have to respect it. Defense, they come up and then one dribble and he's automatically to the hoop dunking it. So,
it's whatever the defense gives him at the time. I mean, honestly, as long as they put the basketball in his hands. He said,
of course,
doesn't matter. No one posts up like that. I mean, yeah, no one posts up like that, but you still need strength, though. You still need strength. He could get to the cup on perimeter. His handle is better than you think. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it's not better than Durant's. And Durant has.
I mean, let's be honest. Giannis coming in, his handles weren't the best, and we've even talked about this on the show.
It could get better. It could get better. I'm not saying.
Well, even now, Giannis's that's hard to say. Giannis's handles aren't phenomenal, but he's got enough repertoire or weapons that he can use in his bag of tricks to get to the hole. Like, he's not going to be pulling out anything like you can see.
At 6'11", he has A to A plus handles. Giannis.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm just saying you're not going to see like a Kyrie Irving, spin 3 different directions and still come up and pull something off like that.
It's a different style, right?
Yeah, like I mean, all he really needs to do between the legs, a hesitation, crossover, and then to the rim. Like, I mean, nobody's going to be challenging him anyways. If you can get close to the rim, you're just going to go up to the rim and play above the rim. No one else is going to be up there with you anyways. You're 7'4". So, I mean, it's a little bit different standards of what skills he'll need as far as dribbling to be better than most. I mean, Jokic, I mean, he's probably one of the top centers, and let's be honest, he's not out there like, and one-ing somebody up, crossing somebody over, looking phenomenal, but he does enough and can do enough to make himself relevant with the ball at the top of the key too. So, I mean, I think the guy's definitely got what he needs to for handles. Now, can they improve? Yes, but does he have what is good to keep him in a high level? Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, as
I'm
a
just saying,
handles are crazy.
I'm just saying, as the talent increases, the defense increases.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna need other ways to get. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to take you off your spot. They're gonna try to be physical with you, and if the refs are not calling a foul, it's going to be they're going to be physical, and you're going to have to, just because it's not the 80s or the 90s doesn't mean the game is not physical. And I think for him, the better he wants to be, he needs to be more physical than his opponent. That's what Giannis is. Giannis is more physical than the opposing team, whoever they have on the team. That's why no one could guard him.
And let's be honest, LeBron James doesn't really get too tricky with his ball handling skills. I mean, yes, he's good, but
I'm saying at his size, to be able to handle the rock like that, where the ball is right there, you're 6'8", it's really easy for somebody to strip. So he has really good handle. All those guys, you have to have elite handles to be a top, top.
But they also can play bully ball because of their size and not have to do the trickery part of it.
Exactly. All I'm saying is he if he could add both the finesse and the physicality, sky's the limit, and the sky's already the limit because
the sky's already that's amazing. So
shout out to him, man. He made a lot of money this weekend.
Victor, shout out to you. Come on the show, man. Let's talk a little bit. Let's just count the bucket it up a little bit. We'd love to have you on here. So if you guys that are listening know him, just pass it along, man. We'd like to have you on. Make it happen.
Definitely, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
But all right, let's dive into some of the preseason recap, man. Have you been watching some of the preseason games?
I have not. I try not to hype myself up too much on preseason because you all came at me already when I hopped way too much on the summer leagues when I said it's just as exciting as the NBA, and you and Seth Greenberg was like, what is this cat talking about? So I pumped the brakes on this preseason a bit because when basketball is played, I get excited. I don't care what's going on. If it's a game-winning shot, I'm hyped and ready to go. So this time I said, you know what? Since they came at me, they cut at me a little bit. Seth Greenberg, shout out to you. You hurt my feelings quite a bit on our show when you came on, but thank you for coming on. But so I see some of these stats, some of these highlights, especially on Instagram, so many points, so many rebounds, all these players. I'm like, it's preseason. I'm trying my best to not get overwhelmed by some of these stats that I'm seeing. Are you on the opposite and like, hey, highlight reels are these great? Because, I know you've seen that Obi that dunk for the Knicks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. When I seen that, I was pretty hyped. So, but what are you taking on in these preseason games so far?
Yeah, I think really it's this is more of a political answer, but it's really true. You really kind of have to see the pros and cons of both sides. Mm-hmm. You make some valid points in terms of yes, the games don't matter, but in a way they do because you want to see where your guys are at before the season starts. I think your excuse for not watching it is not good enough because the summer league is the talent. NBA preseason is NBA talent for the majority of the game, as opposed to summer league where it's a lot of guys trying to make it to the NBA, younger guys. So if you were to say even if you were to say NBA preseason is better than regular season, that's still a crazy take. So I just think just take the L right there, brother. Just take the L on that take, brother. It's all good.
I didn't say it's better than it, just more exciting because these guys
were not more exciting. No way.
Because they're playing for their own spot.
They're playing for their own spot. I mean, it's a good narrative.
It's a good vibe.
It's a good vibe. It's a good narrative, for sure. But better than the NBA regular season? Especially now coming up? No way.
Okay, mid-season it gets, with some of these, what do they call it? Load management. I'm just like, all right, now this is pathetic.
With the amount of talent in the NBA, it's not going to be
load management. It's almost a different thing now. I agree 100% with you on that.
But there's not going to be any bad games on with the amount of talent in the NBA.
I agree.
If you're watching a team that's going to win like 24 games, they still got a lot of talent on that team. You're like, oh yeah, he's going to be good in a couple of years. They figure it out.
I agree with you 100% on that because, in times past, it's been, okay, load management, we're not going to see the all-star players, so this is probably going to be an L for the team.
Or teams are going to tank for Wembanyama.
But at the same time, we're still going to be seeing some high-caliber players that are the future of the NBA. Kind of like we've talked about some of the other divisions that we've talked about here. They may be bad now, but watching some of these players blossom out or come into their own, it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch on that part. Maybe I just need to kind of change my mind thought of what I'm actually watching. So, I give it to you on that one. I need to think of, instead of watching, oh, wow, this is going to be a bad game, just more or less watching, wow, I'm watching this player who isn't the guy yet is working their way to be the guy. Because, even like Nick, while he was here talking about his article going to be dropping about Pistons, I probably absolutely love that episode of us talking about the Pistons more of, I'll say top 5 of our episodes, just how in depth we got in there and looking at the future with Ivy and everyone else and how they're going to step up. And in 2 to 3 years they're going on. And then we even talked about Cleveland in that as well. Got me a little bit hot for NBA for years to come on that. And sometimes I look back, and I know we're going to talk about Oklahoma soon, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, some of their games are going to be kind of trash. But at the same time, when you got to look in, we don't have Chet now, but next year when we have him, just enjoy what we actually have, I guess. And I'm being long-winded here. I'm being scurry. I need a hush. That's for you. That's for you.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
What team or what player, let me ask you that, has surprised you so far in what you've watched? Or is there anyone that's kind of jumped out to you?
I mean, watching my Knicks so far, Jalen Brunson looks really good.
Good.
Jalen Brunson looks good. Had 16 plus in both games so far. Knocking down shots, getting to the free throw line. Obi Toppin, I know the dunks.
That was sick.
Definitely, yeah, it was a great dunk. But I just want to see all that in the regular season. Again, I just want to see that in the regular season. Not even more so about those type of dunks, just successfully attempting the dunk. That's what I care about. As long as it goes in the basket, like that's what we need to start thinking about. Yes, everything is, it's cool. The between the legs, fun every once in a while, but 2 hands for safety. Let's get it right.
Right.
Let's get back on defense.
I seen this one stat.
You gotta be like that. We're not a team. They're not a team where it's like you could have those type of habits. They'd be like, oh, it's cool. They'll get back. Like, nah.
Yeah, every basket kind of counts, especially for Toppin right now, because we've talked about many times he needs the more minutes. Well, you pull stunts like that, if you miss it, you in the doghouse. Let's just be honest. We know how that rolls.
Yeah, for me, for Toppin, the Randall situation, I'll give Randall 28 minutes and give Toppin 20 minutes. That's it. Randall should be efficient in those 28 minutes. Toppin, do his thing. Make sure they give him the rock in those 20 minutes, and he'll play like how he played the other night. It's that simple. Jalen Green, also another guy I saw look really good. In the preseason, Trae Young, there was an Abu Dhabi. I think he had like 31 and 7. He had a great game. Luka Doncic making plays. Ja Morant looks good, getting to the basket, being aggressive like always, catching lobs, elite.
I seen a couple. I'll say like it was almost like a Instagram post, and that's kind of what made me hesitant, I think, as far as going big into the post or the preseason on this. Like one of them, I went here to look at it to kind of bring it up, but it was talking about like Jose Alvarado. I never can say his name right.
Jose Alvarado
against the Pistons. It had it big bold letters here: 28 points, 5 rebounds on 12 of 18 field goal with 67%. Like that's great. But will he be getting that all year, 28 points?
No, he won't be getting that. Oh, and again, how could I forget Zion coming back, first games back in a year? Listen, MVP if you stay healthy.
Thank you for coming over to my side now.
What? I've been a Zion fan.
You and me. It's Nick that's not been on our side. Okay.
Yeah, I got podcast tape on record of me saying back in 2019 that Zion was going to be special.
Oh, yeah.
I got tape of me saying that Zion would be better than Luka.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is possible.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He averaged 27 in his second year, bro. 27?
Oh, whew.
Averaging 27 in his second year is a different type of talent, man. So
this is the same day that I seen this highlight, same like post, you can scroll over, and it had Duncan Robinson against Memphis, 29 points, 5 of 7 from 3-point, 10 for 10 from free throws. I'm like, Duncan Robinson was not relevant last year. Are we expecting him to be better this year? I'm like, I've got to see more. I felt like a lot of our posts, basketball posts or NBA posters, like, hey, look at this highlight, pop it at me. And I'm like, I'm going to pump the brakes and make sure this is a continuous thing before I jump on board, be like, okay, these guys are good. So maybe that's what's kind of stumped me a little bit here.
No, with the Alvarado thing, it's just that it's good. Obviously, he's not going to get those shots in the regular season, like you said.
Right, because there's a few more players there.
There's a hierarchy, but it's good though. Like, say, what if something happened, an injury, load management, like you said, they need him to step in and start. You see, if he gets those type of minutes, he could come in and produce, knock down shots. It's good. You're just showing the coach that, listen, you could trust me if that situation ever presents itself. So that's really what I'm looking at when I see those type of things. And they just got to stay consistent. Alvarado stay consistent. It's the second year. He's playing great right now. Just got a bag. He's going to be good. He's going to be good. Rooting for his success. Obviously, he's from the city. He's from New York. He's from New York City. So, yeah, I'm excited for that Pelicans team. Like I said, if Zion can stay healthy, he's going to be in that MVP discussion.
Real quick, let me ask you that. What team are you most excited for this upcoming year? We're 45 minutes into the show. We probably need to get to our divisions talk because we'll be quite a while on it. But Pelicans will probably be my number one team that I'm excited to watch and see what may come out about them. Of course, the Suns and the Heat are my two teams that I like to watch. Heat, number one. If I have to say that I have a team, it would be the Heat, guys. I'm not a fan of every team. I'm just a fan of the NBA.
State your claim, bro. Get it on record. I feel you. Team, Pelicans are definitely up there. My Knicks always, just because I want to see now we have a point guard, so I want to see if that changes things, changes the dynamic of the offense and certain players on the team.
Pistons,
yeah, I still think they could. They're gonna have their ups and downs. Look, watching that game I saw against the Knicks, they're still gonna have their ups and downs, but they are talented though. Ivy looked good, Cade looked good. They're gonna be good. They just gotta continue to play together, figure things out. They're gonna be fine. Mavericks, Christian Wood, Lakers and the Clippers. Lakers, Clippers, Warriors. Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, and Brooklyn.
We forget who the Brooklyn are actually going to have this year.
Yeah, I want to see how the Lakers play. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Nash coaching-wise. As a person, I don't know. But in terms of his coaching style, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's going to help them win the championship. I think it's the worst style for them, honestly, because it can create bad habits when your team is just heavy ISO. But they got some wing players now, so maybe they can lock up, play defense. Maybe they'll move the rock a little bit. They have some more versatility in their offense.
So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Of course, Cleveland.
They could be better. Yeah, Cleveland, too. Yeah, I like Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. Every team, that's what I mean. If you have League Pass or, if you have your stream link where you watch your games, buckle up. It's going to be a great season, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what's in store this season. Like, so many storylines and young players getting an opportunity to get healthy. Like I said, with Zion, Jalen Brunson getting an opportunity to be a key piece on a team now. I mean, he was like that in Dallas, but now you're in New York with the spotlight on you. And he's, the way he played, to me, it looked like no problem. And
really, good.
I'm excited. I did have my doubts early on. I'm gonna be honest. Like early, I was like, maybe we should look at Poole. We should look at somebody else early on. I knew he was nice, but I started to do my homework, and I was like, yeah, I think we got a really good player. Once we signed him and everything, before we signed him, I started doing my homework after the season and watching some highlights and watching his game. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to be good. And I seen he was a champion in Villanova, 2-time champion. He's one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. I mean, just look at the history. He's up there. What he's done at Villanova. And he goes to Dallas. He gets an opportunity. He sits on the bench for, a year and a half, 2 years under Rick Carlisle. And then he gets an opportunity with Jason Kidd. And was the second best player on the team that was in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So the guy's pretty good.
Yeah, I like him. I know we talk a lot about the Knicks industry team, but I would say probably like the 15 interested in just watching the run. I'm not the other teams are on that, but just around that area as far as the teams, because I do want to see kind of how RJ plays this year, another year under the belt with what's going on there with now adding Brunson. I really want to see if Brunson's going to be the guy, the star, or if they're going to end up trading a bunch of players. I don't think they'd do that, though.
No, I'm honestly, like I said, remember, this is on record, too. This is on podcast record. I said, I'm glad we didn't trade for Donovan. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm good. I said, I'm not mad. I said, I like the young players that we have. I was like, Tibbs just going to have to play those guys.
Right.
And the Knicks have depth. They have a lot of depth. They do. If those guys are used the right way under a solid system, mm-hmm. And we got Rose, Brunson, Quickly, Grimes, Reddish, RJ, Toppin, Randall. I mean, Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein can shoot threes as a big man. Like Sims. I mean, they got some talent. They got some talent. Tibbs just has to use those rotations the right way.
Right. They have potential, so we got to see which way they're going to end up going.
Yeah, so we're going to be.
We're not going
to be an easy dub. I'll tell you that.
But speaking of potential, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I was just going to transition on over here. Speaking of potential, we've got quite a few teams in our Northwestern division here that fall under the line of potential. What was that?
It's a little jump shot. You feel me?
Okay. I didn't know if that was
shot.
Looked like a stretch jump shot.
Jump shot. Yeah, that's what it was.
We'll go ahead and start with probably one of my teams that I'm most intrigued to see where they go this year is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Last year, the record was 24-57. Of course, they draft, I think, number 2 overall pick and get Chet, who in preseason, or not even preseason yet, tears, was it ACL?
Nah, I think he broke his foot.
Same thing. ACL, MCL, foot.
It's different.
Toe,
it's different.
Tommy John surgery. He's out for the year, whatever part of the body it is.
Yeah.
And so now.
It's different.
Thanks, CJ. So now, what are we even going to expect? Because, we come into the season thinking, okay, we're going to get young Giddey matched up with Chet, your duo that you're going to build this franchise with some of the other players. And, of course, you've got Sky Alexander as well there.
Yeah, that's the trio, not a duo.
Yeah, so, I mean, there are some rumors. Will Alexander still be okay with heading up this franchise that still don't have a complete competing identity, or will he be asking for a trade? So what do you see going on with this? I don't think Sky will be asking for anything to get out of there. I think he'll kind of stay at home. I won't say home, but stay with Oklahoma because they're on the edge of being very good with the young team that they have once Chet does come back and being very well. Don't you think? I mean, I'm not saying very good.
Bro.
CJ, you look at me on some of my comments and think that I mean when I'm very strong on some of these answers.
No, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
Well, they're going to be very good soon. Now, when I say very good, I don't think they're going to be championship caliber, but they're going to be good, right? They're going to be relevant, don't you think? In 3 years' time.
3 years. What's your definition of good?
In the NBA, I mean, if you're in the NBA, you got to be good. I don't think they're going to be Rockets
what's
record.
What's the definition? What's your definition of it?
The definition of good to me is going to be in playoff.
Okay, so you think they're going to make the playoffs in 3 years?
I think so. I think they have a really good shot at it.
Okay, so that'll be a 6-year rebuild.
Well, I mean, you can count numbers all you want.
What numbers am I counting? I'm counting the years they rebuilding.
But I'm just saying, yes. I mean, how many years have? Oh, that didn't look good on that ankle, but I guess he's okay. But I mean, yeah, they've missed a few picks. I mean, the Westbrook era was okay, but it wasn't very good. I don't even really think that was a rebuild with Westbrook and Paul George. Do you think it was just kind of a reload and not change over? I don't really consider it.
Yeah, that was a reload, right? That was getting Paul George was a reload. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You lose a guy. You lose a guy like KD, and then you get Paul George the year after. That's a reload.
So, how do you feel? Because I don't think you feel the same way I do. And it upsets me.
Yeah, I just feel like they're gonna keep tanking again and again, and I don't want them to get Wembanyama. I want them to go to because they're already tanking for these guys already, and they have enough young players, and I want him to go to another team and help another team and bring more parity to the NBA. I don't want him to go to the Thunder where they have Chet, Giddey, SGA, and that's all because they just tank. I mean, I want him to go somewhere else. If he goes to Utah, that'd be cool. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna stay there for the rest of his career. But
let me just ask you this. I'm sorry to interrupt here, because a lot of people have problems with tanking. I don't like tanking either. But how does one build a roster at a small market like Oklahoma without tanking like this? I mean, that's the only way they can. So, I mean, they have to do it. You're not going to get anyone to come to Oklahoma, really, and actually be able to build a franchise around those players. I mean, yeah, you did get Paul George, but that was after he broke a leg and was rehabilitated, and we weren't really for sure how his career was going to go. I mean, yes, he was okay, and he just had MVP caliber year that year, and then he goes on to LA and leaves you. So, I mean, these small market teams, they have to tank. Unfortunately, I'm a Reds fan in baseball. We live to tank, I think. Oh, snap. I'm all by myself. And I guess I'll just kind of keep on going. So, that's my thing. Yes, tanking sucks, and hopefully CJ comes back very soon because it's very weird seeing my own face on here. But it looks like he's joining in. I think he's got some connection coming up, which I always thought, be living in Kentucky, I had the bad connection here. CJ, are you able to? There we go. See,
yeah. I'm thinking
it's bad about tanking, you get kicked.
No, I'm thinking it's me. It's a little choppy on your end, bro. That's why I thought it was me, though.
Okay, it's probably me because I do have like a Wi-Fi thing up here. I just feel, is my audio choppy or just my picture?
Yeah, both, honestly. But it's all right.
Ooh.
I can hear you better, though. I can hear you better than seeing you, though.
Okay. Oh, I mean, okay. As long as you can hear me, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like for these teams like that, they have to tank or there's no relevance of them.
I guess.
Give me an example of someone who didn't tank and had a good team.
Milwaukee didn't tank. They got Giannis.
But they got Giannis, and nobody thought Giannis was going to be Giannis.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Okay.
So that was kind of
But they didn't tank. That's my point.
Okay, so that's. I mean, yes, you're right.
They were like the 14th pick. They didn't tank. They didn't sell. They had the 14th pick. They got Giannis. They developed him, turned into a superstar. He turned into a superstar.
So do you think Milwaukee can do that again?
It's a tough thing to do. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do, but to tank for 1 year, 2 years, 3, if like over and over again. Okay, you got Giddey. Giddey's supposed to be your guy, right? All right, let's try to get to the play-in right now. You're gonna tank it. Okay, you lost Chet for the year. You're gonna tank again. It just gives them another year to tank, and fans just going to be okay with it.
Okay, let me ask you this. What about Golden State?
Okay.
Didn't they kind of tank?
I mean, they had one bad season, and it led, and then they traded D'Lo for Andrew Wiggins, which gave them the other first round pick.
I mean, they were hurt, but like everyone said, wow,
everybody was hurt.
But this was the perfect tank for them to reload. You know,
because
the team was lucky. Great.
They got fortunate. They got fortunate. They had one of those fortunate situations where they still had a really good team. It was just like you said, they were hurt, and it translated to them into getting the top pick.
So to me, the Oklahoma City and Golden State, at least this year, is almost the same. Like Chet just got hurt.
Nah, it's not really the same. It's not really the same because they're tanking over and over again.
Yes,
Golden State wasn't doing that. They just had one bad season where players got hurt. It's different,
right? And of course, they lost KD. So I mean, they were a little different. But you know, losing Clay for 2 years and then losing Steph in between those years as well, it was perfect storm for them into AKA quote, I'll say not AKA tank, while being relevant when the players came back. So I mean, they still tanked in a way. But they medically tanked, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, what's the point in bringing Curry back when he has a broken hand? You know, it doesn't make any sense. And then they came back. And remember, they played they tried to get into the play-in, and they didn't get in.
I mean, I don't like tanks. Don't get me wrong. I think tanking is really horrible for the sport.
They had to struggle before they got back to the finals. It wasn't like as soon as they all got to, and then obviously Clay came back officially.
What I would like for him to do, just kind of speaking with you now off the top of my head here, the last place team in the playoff gets the first pick.
Last place team in the playoffs gets the first pick.
And then it goes dead last because you're playing to get to that spot, you know, like you're busting your tail to get there.
It's tough. It's tough, man. It's a tough. Listen, I can't sit here and say I have the magic answer on how to really do this lottery thing because, again, worst record in the league, automatic first round pick. It's going to be so easy to tank. That's why the NFL is like, once it gets to like week 11, you're like, yeah, this team is going to have the first pick, and we can't say that for the NBA. We assume, but we don't know off the top. So,
but if you think about it, if there's 16 teams in the 8th place who, you know, or now 10th place because they have so many in it, if the 10th place team loses, they automatically get the first pick. So then it just moves the other 6 back that one spot. Then you can go in order. So every team can't tank because if they want the number 1 pick, they've got to actually try to get into the play-in games. So there's no more tanking. You're trying to push for that. I think it would be good, or at least nice to see a different phase of it.
They could try to do that, like you're trying to go for it, like you're trying to do it, but teams could still position their rosters to where they're not gonna have a high opportunity of winning, bro.
I mean, I agree.
You can't out duel tanking.
Right, I agree. There's always maneuvers around.
When the front office is in charge, you can't outduel it because they have in charge of who you put on the court. So it's like if this guy's hurt, but he's not really hurt, like, oh, we'll set him for like 10 games, but he can really play. He's day to day, but we know what we're doing here. We have a plan. We have a long-term plan. So we're gonna sit him for.
Talking about Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, day to day.
Nah, I mean, listen, he looked all right. He was playing tonight a little bit. I don't know if he's going to come back in the game, but he looked all right in some of in a couple games that I saw him in. But yeah, for OKC, I just want to see them start to play, compete, go out there and try to win these games. You got some young players. You want to build an identity. Is their coach going to be the coach for them when they want to win a championship? If that's their goal, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he's just there really just
in between.
Yeah, he's kind of the filler. Is he the foundational coach?
Is he the Mark Jackson?
Something like that. Yeah, that's kind of what. Yeah, that's kind of what he is right now. He's in that kind of category, and they're gonna have to really step up and decide like, okay, yeah, we're a young team, but let's still try to compete and try to win some games. Because this tanking stuff, like, yeah, listen, I get it. You lost KD, you lost Harden, you lost Westbrook, you lost Paul George, you lost Oladipo, Sabonis. Yeah, you lost all those guys, but in that time frame of when you lost all those guys, you could have did some other things to where you could have kept those guys. If you would have paid Harden and gave Harden his money, if Scott Brooks would have just started Harden off the rip, he would have got that money. There would not have been a discussion over, we're not going to give this guy this money. He's coming off the bench. It would have been, even though he was coming off the bench, he still should have got the money. But they didn't do it. So they traded him right after you go to the finals. And all three of those guys are 23 and under. It's insane. It's insane, man. It's insane. So they should have started Harden over Cephalosha back in the day.
Yeah,
that's what they should have did ultimately, and I feel like that hurt their chances of going to the finals. Harden should have been the starter. It should have been Westbrook, Harden, and Durant, and maybe that would have changed Westbrook's style of play, having Harden in the starting lineup down the road. Because now Westbrook is like, I'd probably have to play more off the ball. If he was learning how to play off the ball back then, it would translate better now on the Lakers. Because now he has to play off the ball because it's the third option. If he was doing more of that when he was younger, it would be better suited for him today. But that wasn't the case. So there's a lot of little things back then. I followed OKC extensively back then, and they should have been a dynasty, but
they should have been.
They didn't get one championship. They got one finals appearance, and that was it. And they lost all those guys. All the guys they acquired because of the talent that they originally drafted was so good that those people would want to go play for that player, and you still don't get nothing out of it. After that, then you lose the greatest player you've ever drafted. You lose the second greatest player you ever drafted, and you lose the third greatest player you ever drafted. One franchise, all in their prime. You lost all three of them in their prime. You didn't win one championship when you had all of them together. That has to be a documentary. Somewhere.
That's a third. Yeah. How long has OKC been a team now? Maybe 15 years?
I think this is year 15.
Okay.
This is year 15 right now.
They've been through a lot as far as
for a small market team, they've had so much success and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah. You're right.
And listen, I don't want to be this guy harping on OKC. You feel me? I want them to be successful. This is why I'm saying I don't like them tanking right now. I want them to start competing. But it's like every time I think about them, I just like it's so sad because.
But looking at this roster, do you think they can compete now?
I'm not saying compete in terms of make to the play. I just say I want them to play to win.
Dang it.
Get your guys, get the best guys out there on the floor to give you the best chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying go to the playoffs, but I'm saying have the guys that you see.
Get a system, get a
system, get the guys that you see a future with on this team, and have them start to play together now so they could develop chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chet's not there now. Yeah, Chet's not there now. Okay. But that doesn't mean you still have other guys on this team that you need to develop chemistry with. So when Chet gets in there, then he'll have to adjust, and then you'll have to adjust. But at least you have chemistry and a foundation already. And there's no confusion when that time comes when Chet does have to come back and you try to fit him back into the offense, into the team. So yeah, that's what they need to do this year. That's what I want to see from them. not SGA has an ankle injury. He sits out for 12 games when he could be
for 12 months.
When he could be playing.
Right.
I just want to see them go out there and play these guys. And honestly, I feel like SGA could be a guy that could get upset because remember he came from the Clippers. He went to the playoffs this first year. He saw his team beat Golden State that year when Golden State was en route to the finals in that first round. He saw that. He experienced that. So he doesn't want to. Nobody wants to sit here for 3-4 years and keep losing like that every single season. He putting all this work in the off season, putting all this pain in the regular season just to go 24-58, like 24-68. Just have terrible records. Like you want to start winning games. So I could see SGA down the road like, hey, if we're not winning here soon, you can move me. And I think OKC will be okay with doing that because why? Because what that'll give them another excuse for?
Victor.
To tank.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think so too, because that'd be another first round pick that they would get.
And for me, it's just I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, but I get they're a small market team like Utah. You're probably only going to keep that player for 6-7 years. And I think all those fans know that. They're like, yo, when we get this guy, we're going to keep him for only about 7 years. So we need to appreciate him. It's just not like, the 90s where you kept Malone for 15 years.
Right.
Kept Stockton for 15, 16 years. You get these guys on their second contract, maybe midway through their second deal. And if you're not winning, they're asking for a trade. Just like what Donovan did. Donovan got his second contract. And midway through his second year rookie extension, he has to get up out of there. So as a Jazz fan, as a Thunder fan, like I said, Thunder got lucky. They're the luckiest small market team of all time. Maybe obviously the Spurs is number one, but they're not lucky though.
Right.
But OKC is like you get Durant, KD, and you get KD, Westbrook, and Harden in their prime.
You say
one
Spurs
championship, bro. Come on, man.
If they and I hate to compare it because Donovan was an okay coach, Billy Donovan, that is. If they had
not really. He's not that good.
Well, that's why I said okay, CJ.
He's not even.
Calm down now.
I don't even think. Listen, bro.
If they had Popovich, do you think they had a championship? Do we think we have a better Westbrook now?
Oh, you mean if they had a better coach?
If they had Greg Popovich at OKC during all that, do we think we had like a Tim Duncan, Parker, Ginobili team with this?
Of course. That's what we're saying the same thing. They needed a better coach. Scott Brooks was not the guy. Billy Donovan, even when it was just KD and Russ.
Because I believe that's when Billy Donovan.
You have a 3-1 lead on the 73-9 Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
And that was his.
That was your opportunity to go back to that. We could have saw KD versus LeBron Part 2. Would have been beautiful. Would have been a great finals either way. Whoever would have won, and obviously it turned out to be a historic finals for Cleveland. But we could have got KD versus LeBron. A much better way than KD going to Golden State and making it, stacking all the cards on one side. And making it difficult.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, if it was OKC KD versus Cleveland LeBron, that's beautiful. That's what the NBA wants. Two small market cities with Hall of Fame players on each team battling it out. But it didn't work that way. Because they folded a 3-1 lead. Billy Donovan plays a part in that, just like KD and Russ play a part in that. And he left, and then once he left, it was pretty much GG's after that. Yeah, they could never find their Popovich. That's what it was. They never.
Do you think we'd have a different Westbrook if we would have had a Popovich back then?
Of course, definitely. Again, Harden would have been the point guard, and Westbrook would have been the shooting guard. So it would have been different. Westbrook would have been the shooting guard. Harden would have played point guard. KD would have been small forward.
OKC 30 for 30. Donovan.
It's definitely going to be 30 for 30 on them.
It's
of course.
all Donovan's fault. Poor Donovan. Hopefully he'll come to Kentucky.
It's not all Donovan's fault. It's just that he wasn't good enough as a coach.
Well, it's his first time coaching in the NBA. You know, I mean, that's
And honestly, when
different.
they picked him up, I wasn't like I wasn't the biggest fan because I feel like, okay, you go for Scott Brooks to a guy that coached in college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know he had success. Chandler Parsons was like the guy for them, like right before he went and became a coach for the Thunder, but.
Al Horford, Joakim
Noah.
Al
Horford, Noah, Corey Brewer, for sure,
Brewer.
definitely, man. He coached a lot.
I was happy he left the SEC.
He coached some really good players, definitely he did. But I wanted them to get somebody else.
I was happy he got a chance in which he still has the chance coaching in the NBA. I thought he was deserving.
He's good. I mean, he's in the Bulls right now, and we see right now.
Don't you dare say he's good now. Don't you dare. You said no to me.
I'm about to say they're not. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to go anywhere.
Mm.
And he's a reason for that too. And like I said, we're just talking basketball. I've seen it already. He didn't hold Westbrook accountable. Scott Brooks didn't hold Westbrook accountable either. Like for the turnovers and the bad play, the bad shot selection. You gotta hold those guys accountable, man. You gotta nip that. You gotta correct that early.
So I guess for everyone listening, if you can kind of get the drift of how Oklahoma City's basketball season is going to be next year, we pretty much would rather talk about their past than their future. So that's how bad it's going to be this year. I have a feeling.
Like I said, their future is going to be Giddy SGA right now. They got Jalen Williams. They have some other guys that are really good that could grow. But what's their end game? That's my question for them. That's it. Like, I'm tired of seeing them, tank now. I want to see them start to.
You want to see them actually pick their player to go with.
Yeah, that's why I was very unfortunate that Chet did get hurt because I feel like they probably would have started to do that. But now it's like, Chet's hurt now. Can't do it. Let's try to get with Wembanyama.
So, do you think? No, there's no way. Never mind. Not even going to go there. Actually, I am.
Yeah,
do you think
if it could be possible? I guess.
Do you think they could trade Chet to get that number one pick?
I wouldn't. Nah. The person that would have the number one pick wouldn't trade that pick for Chet. Of course not. Why would they trade an injured player that just was out for the year for the number one pick? That would be Wembanyama. That'd be the dumbest trade in NBA history.
But what else would they be offering with it? Because you'd be getting probably multiple first-round picks too.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, I would rather. I mean, that's why I said I don't even think I would even say this, but then I just wanted to ask because I think everyone's going to try to load up to blitz whoever has that number one pick to try to have something to offer to them, But I don't know who's
hanging up the phone every time.
Just put on the not accepting calls now.
You crazy? Like this can change my life if I pick this guy. Are you kidding me? I'm not answering no phone calls.
But man,
drafting this guy could change my life, change my generation.
Wow. Will will that first pick be tradable?
Of course not. Nobody's trading that pick.
You don't think so?
That's going to be one of the biggest. That's going to be probably one of the most watched lottery episodes ever next year for Wembanyama.
How many little kids are going to have up there to represent their teams to hope that
try to get the luck? Get the luck. The children luck. Yes, it's
yes,
nasty.
Sir.
Nasty. That's such a nasty way to get luck. Using
all
kids.
Right, let's go ahead and move on over to the Portland Trail Blazers.
It's facts. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm not a fan of that. I hate
last season, 27 and 55. We know Dame was out most of the year. Trade away CJ midseason. Some other trades, rebuild pieces trades, I'll say. Actually, I'll bring them up on no trade clause. Of course, shout out Aaron Washington again with no trade clause. We actually love using this app, I think, or this website is awesome. What all they've got on here, what you can see. You see the rosters. Sorry for you guys on the podcast, can't see, but when I go to the page, it has all their cap sheets. It's got the rosters, how many years they have left on their contract, and each year broken down what they're supposed to be making. Let's see here. I got it pulled up on my screen now. I can share it. Their roster is definitely very thin compared to the other teams. So what are we expecting from Portland next year? Mid-trade?
I don't know, man.
Seriously, their roster. That's it. Like everyone else, I've had to scroll so much.
I don't know what Dame wants to do. This is not a championship team.
No.
This is not a championship team, man. And I hear what he's saying, and I respect him.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to tell a man what to do with his life. But
all you can really say is Dame cares more about loyalty than he does rings. And you have to respect
loyalty has to work both ways, and this roster is not a championship roster. It's just not.
Well,
I mean, I'm looking at the money he's gonna make. He's changed his life. He changed.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
2027, $58 million.
Well, see, maybe that's the loyalty he's looking for. You know, we're looking at, hey, loyalty, give me a better team where I can win. Maybe he should say, I'll stay here and play as long as you're paying me that high loyalties.
Well, it doesn't matter where he goes. It doesn't matter where he goes. He's going to get this money, whether he gets traded or not.
$58 million?
Yeah.
I don't even think LeBron's making that much.
LeBron's not going to be in the league in 2027, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, on that year, no, but I think LeBron's like at like 31 million.
But if LeBron was playing in 2027, he'd be making around $50-something million, of course.
Are you sure?
If LeBron was still playing at a high level in 2027, which I mean,
oh, okay. I mean, like right now, I don't think he's that contract.
I'm not going to put a cap on that, but if that were to happen, yes, he would be making 50-something, close to that money. But Lillard, yeah. They just don't have they have Anthony Simons as a young player. He got a bag. Salute to him. He's going to make $41 million in 2026. Get that money.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy
Get
Grant.
that money. Jeremy Grant just got traded there. Young guy. Was supposed to be a piece for them in Detroit moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work out that way. Now he's with the Trailblazers. He could kind of be, work himself into being a number 2 option, maybe a number 3 option if he develops the right way. Josh Hart is a quality role player. Gary Payton II is an excellent role player. What he brings to the table defensively, shooting the basketball, he could really guard 1 through 5. He's a great basketball player. Gary Payton II. He has a highlight tape on YouTube. If you ever get a chance to watch that, it's like 12 minutes, high quality IQ basketball from Gary Payton II. Shannon Sharp, young player. He did pretty good in his preseason game the other day. Saw a couple clips.
Okay, good. Because I was going to ask you, did you happen to watch him? Because I haven't.
Yeah.
Supposed to play for Kentucky. Reclassified,
right.
Came in to December and never suited up, but practiced with us and never played. So he's very young, actually.
It's gonna happen, man. This is when the players, when they become their own brand, things like that. It's gonna happen. Unfortunately, happened to your squad, but
it won't be the last time.
It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt his chance. It didn't hurt his shot. It still became a top 7 pick. And I mean, I don't know what they have. What their team is looking like. Is Shaden Sharp as a guard, Anthony Simons is a guard.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing? Like Shaden Sharp becomes like a guy, like really good right away. It's Lillard, Sharp, Simons, Grant, and Nurkic. Oh, okay, I guess. I guess that would be their starting 5. Like I said, if Shaden Sharp would be is that guy, then that could be their starting 5 for sure. Because I really don't see anybody else coming in, and maybe Hart can be in the starting 5, Gary Payton, maybe those other 2 guys, but everybody else. I think perfect scenario for them would be Lillard, Sharp, Simons at the 3, Grant at the 4, and Nurkic at the 5. And I think Lord Lillard being able to do anything out there on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Simons improves. Grant quality. If you get 15 to 18 from Grant, 18 from from Nurkic. Simons could get 18 to 20 points. Sharp could get around. I mean, they could do something, but they're gonna have to play defense. They're gonna have to. That's what Chauncey Billups is all about. He's about playing defense. And that's what they got to do. That's the only way. In the West, you have to play defense. If you're not playing defense, you're gonna get smoked. Yeah, you're gonna get smoked every single night.
Mm-hmm.
Every single night, you will get smoked. Only team you probably be able to smoke or won't get smoked by is OKC.
Of course, is Keon Johnson. I'm kind of interested to see what he does in his second year. He had a great college career, so I want to see if he can kind of make that next step forward in his second, third year in the NBA here. I look at the roster and just kind of look at the years a lot of them are over 7 years. Let's see, there's Hart 5 years, Peyton Jr. 6 years, which I'm okay with that. But then you look at Nurkic at 8 years, Grant 8 years, and you got Lillard at 10. Like, yes, his team is – they've got good talent. I don't see the pieces as far as even a bench really, but they're kind of old. I mean, when you look at how many years experience at least, there's not really a fluent roster on here. Of course, even what I said earlier, like the roster looks pretty thin for some reason compared to the other rosters we've had. So I don't know if are going with this for long, because to me, I know we talked about the loyalty that Dame has showed with him, being 10 years in the league, all with here signed for at least 5 more years, making it $58 million in year 15. So at some point, there's got to be a transition to some youthful players to carry on. That's why I think you almost got to trade Dame soon and say, hey, we've got to get some of these first-round picks. Not that you're tanking, but, you've got to have a future for this program or a future for this team or this city here, because, Justice Winslow, you're even on this team at 7 years in the league, and I don't even know the last time you played. So,
he's been around. He's been around. He's been on some teams here and there.
He played Miami, I think, and they finally just let him go. So,
started Miami. He's been on the Clippers, Grizzlies. He's been up some spots. I think he's been up some spots now, but I just don't know. The team is just not good enough to be a play-in. The East is, the West is so stacked. It's so stacked, man. It's like they could be like a really good 11 seed and be like, damn.
Like, to me, this would be a good team for Tom Thibodeau to be coaching. Like, he's only got 5 to 7 players to coach. Like that's what he likes to do. I'm saying that part.
Chauncey, they're gonna be a tough out. Like I said, if they bring that starting 5 out, like I just said, that's a tough 5 to stop. It's a lot of offense. It's a lot of offense, but like I said, if they're not playing defense, that's why they're gonna lose. They don't have great defenders at the wing. Anthony Simons is not a. He could be, but he doesn't play like it on a nightly basis. He could be a better defender. Shaden Sharp. He has the measurables and the size to be a good, but we gotta have to see that. I'm not gonna crown I'm not gonna crown somebody. I'd probably start Gary Payton II. Oh yeah, you need that defense. I'd probably start the game. Lillard, Gary Payton II, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic. That has to be Chauncey starting 5 if you want any type of confidence to start the game. But outside of that, the bench is not that great. Not say little. He's been solid. He's showed some flashes here and there, but nothing really has been able to stay. He was a really athletic guy coming out of high school and went to North Carolina, but didn't work out. But
here's to you.
It's going to be a tough
Portland.
road. Here's to you, Portland. Good luck. Good luck
Good
this
luck.
season. I want Lillard to stay healthy. I want him to be healthy, have a great year.
Mhm.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most. And I want to see if Sharp could be that guy. And Simmons.
So let's go ahead and kind of go. Well, I was going to say to more solid teams, I guess, but we got one more team I think we got to go through before we get to the contenders in this. And let's go ahead and jump on over to the Utah Jazz, who for years now has been one seed, top season team. Then it comes playoff and they're choke artists. So Utah has been very good in past until it comes playoffs and they can't do anything, which has always been weird to me because they have been a half-court offense kind of guy, a team who should translate into playoff time to be good, but they just can't play in playoffs. So, of course, last year the record 49-33, as you can see here, not as good as they have been in the past. Mike Conley, an older player. Some of these other players, I think Jordan Clarkson's still on the team. We know that, let me grab the card, got to do it one time. Donovan Mitchell has been traded with some other trades that have been going on. I will go on over here to no trade clause and be working on that. But so, CJ, what do we think will be happening with Utah this year other than tanking?
Yeah. I mean, they have some young guys that are talented. I will say that. I'm not going to sit here and say they're just playing G League guys in their starting lineup. I'm not going to go that far. Colin Sexton is a really good player. Nice young player. Brings a lot to the table in terms of his scoring ability. Could do some things. If I'm him, I'm looking at it and it's like, this could be my team. They gave him an extension. So they see him, they expect him to step up this year. Larry Markkinen, another young guy, really played well and showed his worth. Going to Cleveland, it was looking a little scary. It was not scary, but it was, he needed to play better in the right moment. And him going to Cleveland definitely helped that. When he was in Chicago, it just wasn't. He wasn't able to stay consistent, stay healthy. He went to Cleveland, really helped himself out, and now he's in Utah. He's good. Malik Beasley's a bucket. Jordan Clarkson's a bucket. Taylor Horton-Tucker. Everybody said, he wasn't. He can't. He's playing with LeBron, so he can't really show out. Well, I mean, now
here's your chance.
This is the spot to show out. I mean, the spot gets no larger than this one right here.
Yeah,
when it comes to getting the minutes and getting the time. So we're gonna see how good he is, straight up. Because again, if he's really that good, he gets in the starting lineup on this team because we already know the type of direction this team is headed in. But again, they do still have young guys. Kelly Olynyk, quality veteran, knock down threes, can play a little bit of defense, take charges. He's just a vet. He's a good vet. Rudy Gay, still out here, playing
which is
well.
Crazy. 16 years.
I would like to see him on a contender, but he's still rocking on these, other teams. I think he'll be moved to a contender. I still feel like he has a lot of talent to where he could be on a contender and help a contender right now, as opposed to being on a team like this, man. Walker Kessler, that's a guy I'm looking at. I'm very interested to see how he plays. Played at Auburn. I don't know if you got a chance to see him or watch him play. Very talented. He didn't shoot the three a lot at Auburn, but he has a nice form so where he could shoot it, gets blocks. I think he could be a good player for them down the road. I really do. And he can move out a little bit on the perimeter too, on defense.
Looking at the roster, Utah, I feel a lot more comfortable about next year than Oklahoma and Portland.
Ravens got the dub.
Ravens did? Okay.
Yeah.
I turned it off because I thought maybe that's hurting my Wi-Fi going on right now. But
no, yeah, you're good now. That could have been it. Yeah.
Okay.
You're sounding great right now.
I like Portland's starting five, like what we talked about, but past that, that's it. But, looking at this roster here, I mean, even Jared Vanderbilt, he's still young, of course, a Kentucky player, 4 years in. He could be better in a role where he has a chance to play more, I think. Rudy Gay, like you said, THT, even Kelly Olynyk, he he has great minutes when he plays. Now, I'm not saying he could be an all-star player. I'm just saying, like, he gets you good minutes. Mike Conley, 15 years in, he's still great.
It's going to get moved.
I think so, too.
Yeah, he's going
this
to.
is
I think
definitely
Clarkson. They play now for the Jazz. They're going to play in the beginning of the season, but
as this roster if they have right now, I like this team, but I don't think, like you're saying, I don't think that they end the year with this roster at all. Do you?
Absolutely not.
Do you think they start the season in 2 weeks with this roster?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, things could change. They can. One of these guys could get moved. I think Clarkson, Conley.
I even think Olynyk and Gay, like you said.
Malik Beasley could be a guy that could get moved. Potentially. Right now, their starting lineup looks like Conley, Sexton, Markkanen, Vanderbilt, and Kessler. I don't think you got to go. I think Kessler's going to start for them.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, Olynyk's not a traditional big.
Kessler first, did they?
Nah, Minnesota drafted him.
Okay.
And he got traded in the Gobert trade. Yeah. So, yeah. They're going to be a real big rebuilding team. Mm-hmm. Again, they're hoping to be able to get Wembanyama more than any team. He's probably going to end up here, San Antonio. He's going to be here, San Antonio. Wembanyama. He's going to end up in Utah, San Antonio. He's not going to. They're not the NBA. I don't want to say it's rigged, but I don't know. It's. Yeah. It's about the money. It is about the money. And
somehow the Lakers get that pick and he goes. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
That'll be. See what I'm saying? That would never.
The Lakers have a 0.5% chance at that pick, and they get drawn.
Nah,
game over.
They would never let that happen. But yeah, that's what this is. They're part of the Wembanyama sweepstakes. But they do have some young guys where I'm like, yeah, I could see myself if it's Jazz. I'm not a fan of their jerseys. I said this earlier. I don't know why they changed. I don't know why they changed their jerseys. They had some of the best jerseys in the NBA. With the Utah with the mountain, with the mountains over the Jazz,
with the purple.
Yeah, with the purple, the blue, it was perfect. They have some of the best jerseys nowadays. Mm-hmm. Now it's just like a yellow practice jersey that says Jazz.
Yeah, like it's.
I don't get it. I don't know who.
It really looks like it's a AAU jersey to me. It's just like something we had to buy from East Bay. It used to be, I think it was the magazine you can flip through, find it's like, okay, we need a jersey. Let's just order this one and go Jazz.
Like, cause I don't know when they sat down in the meeting and was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. I'm like, there's no way. No one said, wait a second, guys, wait. This is bad. Nobody said that in that meeting.
No,
that's incredible. I would have been the one. You're not paying me enough to sit there and be like, yo, like, yeah, this is good. This is a good idea. Let's go on with this. I'm like, guys, we need to fine tune the throwback ones and we need to make those the original, the jerseys.
Yeah, the throwback are nice. I do think they need to be updated a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Modernize the throwback ones as opposed to what is that? Jazz.
Maybe not make it look so much like a Coors can, but kind of tweak it a little bit, change up the colors a little bit on it. But I do like the mountain, the purple, and that whole base on there.
Yeah, like why are you changing that? I mean, are you changing this because you're transitioning to like tank mode? So you're like teams are not. We're gonna I just can't. It's just a bad look. I don't like that. I don't like that jersey, man. They should have just kept their jerseys. To me, it's just showing that you're just like, okay, yeah, we're about to be bad now.
But let's be honest.
We're moving to this transition of where we're not going to be good.
In the past, the jerseys have kind of declined in a way.
A lot of that has to do with Nike. I mean, a lot has to do with Nike too. Nike as soon as Nike took over jerseys, it just the jersey game is not the same. But Yeah, Utah.
Can you see the jerseys?
Yeah, so like I said, those are like.
See, I like
to be honest, those are their best jerseys. Yeah, honestly, I like the Jazz ones when they had D. Will and Carlos Boozer with the blue, like the
See, I mean,
sky
I'm
blue with
okay
the white.
a little bit.
Yeah, those are cool. Like those are all right. I'm not a fan of that either. I'm not
I
a fan
like
of
this though.
No, I like those. Yeah, those I'm a fan of. They need to just wear those. But this, like the Jazz, like that one, the
It's a
Jazz with the
highlighter.
Jazz. Yeah, yeah, like this. It's a practice jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a practice jersey. Like it's not even. It's just Jazz number, Nike swoosh. Like not even nothing stands out. Or it's terrible. I don't understand how you could market that. Nobody's gonna buy that. Nobody's gonna buy that jersey.
I mean,
I don't
that
get
one
it,
looks a little deep. I mean, it's better than that.
No,
better than
they
that.
both look like practice jerseys. Yeah,
I agree.
that just looks like the one that's out on the other side. Like
it really looks like it's reversible because of the yellow
it's
trim
reversible.
too.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But do you like these?
Those, I mean, that's fine. You got the Jazz, with the J and the note. That's cool. It's just wear that, or go back to your blue. Like I said, when they had Darren Williams and
see, I like these, but like the mountain, I don't know, or I like that too with the purple on the bottom. I like that one, but the mountain, I just feel like it needs to be changed some way.
Yeah, they changed it up on the modern jerseys, but yeah,
Kind of like it with the Jazz there. That looks nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know what they're doing now. Like I said, they had some solid jerseys, but now I just feel like
Boozer was there. You said,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about this one, right?
That blue is crazy.
I like that.
That blue with the Utah, like I don't know why they changed that. Like those colors are crazy. I used to always pick Utah in the 2K online league because of their jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Always.
I used to like
every time we did a fantasy draft, I would always pick Utah. Yeah,
I used to like Rhode Island in college just because they had that blue like that in it.
Yeah, that blue. Yeah, the Rams, Rhode Island Rams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't say North Carolina color blue, but we'll go with Rhode Island blue.
I'm weak.
Okay, so
shout out to the Jazz, man. Like, I know it's tough. It's tough being. I know it's tough. Like I know no one talks about this, but we're gonna talk about it. But it's just true. Like being a Jazz fan you're getting 7 years, but you're not getting 12, 15. Because you're not a big market. So I know that has to suck. But if you do draft a generational type guy. So
I promise you, I do not have
hopefully
a
it's an exception
shirt on.
Nah, hopefully that's an exception. Maybe he could be the guy that stays in. I just think in today's NBA.
Do you really think Victor's going to go to Utah? Like, I don't think that they have the chance.
Why not?
I just don't.
It's their prime for them to get the number 1 pick. They're literally screaming to the NBA. Look, we just traded Mitchell and Gobert. This is what we're gonna do, okay? NBA. What again? Adam Silver can't do anything, bro. If the owner, who is Adam Silver's boss, is saying, "I'm gonna take," my team is tanking. He can't do anything about that. He's fine his boss. He can't suspend his boss.
What did he say? Because
only way he can do that is if he gets the okay from the other owners, which are his bosses.
Right. Which half of them have to tank too. But he did say something about advising them not to tank. And I can't remember.
That's all he can do. That's just a PR. That's just PR talk.
Okay. So there was nothing like you can be fined for that.
But you're gonna fine an owner $500,000. Wow.
That would be nice.
That's like a depending on the team. That's like a night. That's like one game.
That's crazy.
Worth of money you just get.
It's like one video of Draymond Green knocking Poole out.
Not even less than this. It's more than that.
That's if we have that tape.
Oh,
that's how much that
if
would
I
be.
had the tape, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure. But again, it's just he's not. If the team wants to take, the owner's like, yo, we're gonna tank. We're gonna tank. That's it. The owner has to okay it. You know why? Because the owner has to okay it because they lose the most money.
I mean, you're right, but at
Teams
the
are
same
not
time,
showing up.
like,
Teams are not players. I mean, people. I mean, they're Utah. Listen, they're a close knit. They have that together, tight. We're all in this one. Any type of cliche togetherness line you want to put there. That's what they have. So they still might go to. They still might go to the games regardless, even though they know they're gonna lose a lot of games. They still
I don't
might
think
go.
so.
I think so. I think they're gonna go. I think they are gonna go and watch those.
I mean,
games.
what else they're gonna do in Utah?
And this is what I mean. The close knit. They have that. They have that there. So.
I mean,
I think they're going to be at those games. They're going to be room for Sexton and Taylor Horton Tucker.
Does Utah even have anything else? Do they have a hockey team?
I know they have their football team is pretty good. Their college football team is pretty good over there in the Pac-12. I'll give them that.
I got to search this. Because I feel like there was a hockey team at some point. Utah Grizzlies. Okay, yeah. Salt Lake Bees is a AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels, but who cares about that? But yeah, okay, so they do have a hockey team, but not bad-mouthing hockey people. Hockey is awesome, but I'm just saying, if you could go to an NBA game or hockey, I would think NBA would trump hockey. Just saying.
I mean, it depends.
Do you like hockey? I used to love hockey in the 90s.
Yo, Rangers games are pretty lit.
Are they?
Ranger games, yeah. I'm in a few Ranger games. Yeah, I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't sleep on hockey games. It's pretty good.
Used to. I've got a puck over there. Actually, here's how bad I am. Like, I get memorabilia and don't realize. Okay, I'll get a memorabilia and love it for a little bit, and then be like, okay, I've got it. It's just whatever it is now. When I was probably 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, I wouldn't say I'll say 8 to 10, okay? Correct. We went to Myrtle Beach and went to like an All-Star Cafe or whatever, one of those big things like Hard Rock Cafes, and Wayne Gretzky was actually there, and he went around signing stuff, and I had a T-shirt that he signed. I have no idea what I did with it. I have no clue.
Man.
I actually think one day, like I used to have it hanging up on my wall when I was a kid. And I was like, you know what? I just want to wear that to school one day. And I'm pretty sure I actually just wore it.
Yeah, that's life-changing bread.
Yeah, I look back on it and think, and I'm pretty sure there's a puck somewhere around our family that he also signed to. I've searched for it. Because, after a while, a shirt just gets dirty. I don't care what it is. I didn't have it in like a case or anything like that. Yeah, you didn't frame it. And so it started kind of fading a little bit. I was 10. Like, come on, Mom. You should have helped me out a little bit there. But the puck, it looked good. And I've got a couple. We still do actually have like a semi-pro hockey team here in Lexington, Kentucky. We used to try to go to once a year. It's fun to go and watch. But
yeah, that's how I fell in love with hockey when I was at Buffalo State.
Awesome.
That's what they do up there, man. I went to a game and it was lit.
It is pretty fun. It is.
Like,
we used to actually play here back in the 90s. We was big Detroit Red Wings fans because there's a guy that moved from Michigan down here in our area, big fan. So he kind of was teaching us hockey. That's how we kind of got into it. We ended up buying like roller blades and nets and hockey sticks and everything. We used to play all the time out in the parking lots. It was fun.
Yeah, hockey's lit. But again, the NBA experience is also fire, and playing in the Garden is nothing. I mean, not playing well. Watching basketball at the Garden is a great feeling, and bro, we can lose. I remember going to a Knicks game and it was against the Mavs, and they got slapped by 50, but it was still packed in there, bro.
Well, see, but it's New York.
It was like a Sunday 12 p.m. game.
Really?
Not even
because Miami,
Sunday
Monday
12
night.
Sunday 12 p.m. was packed.
Really? Okay.
I was like, yo,
that's nice.
Loyalty is real. Well, this is when we were dirt. This is Nate Robinson, David Lee.
You guys are still dirt, aren't you?
No, but this is we're not dirt right now. We have much more talent than what we had.
Fair.
13 years ago. Yeah. This is back then, and it was packed in there, bro. We was playing
Perry in the comments. What's up, Perry? You doing all right?
What's good, brethren? Hope all is well.
That is one thing. And, of course, we'll get back to our divisions here a little bit. Like, I even went to Twitter a few times on this because Miami is my team that I would say is my number one team I cheer for. Perry, you're the one that says I'm a fan of all the teams. But watching some of their games on my Fire Stick that's illegal, on like the Monday games, 7 p.m. or something like that, or midweek games, like it wouldn't even be filled like bottom row. Like they'd put those, they usually do like the whiteout T-shirts, try to make the stadium or the arena all color coordinated or something like that. And you'd see all these random shirts just still laying there that nobody's even been in those seats. I'm like, come on, guys, where are you at? And people will come at me on Twitter and be like, it's Miami, bro. What do you think we're going to be doing? We got the beach we can go to. I'm like, It's your heat. Like, go to the game.
Nah, would you rather be at the game or on the beach? I'd rather be on the beach.
Oh, the Rob Love
NBA fan. Rob Love NBA fandom. Sheesh.
See, what?
I mean, listen. If I'm a fan, I'll go to a lot of Heat games, but I mean, it's like there's so much to do in Miami, and it's warm weather. New York, you get New York, you get the warm weather every couple seasons.
In New York, like that's the celebrity place too. It's kind of got that.
Yeah, it's the capital market. It's a big market. Miami's
even the games. That's where a lot of celebrities go to as well.
Yeah. Miami's a big market. And
no, Perry, I won't be this guy. Just like the guy in the baseball. I don't know if you ever. What is it? Oh shoot! I want to say his name's Nick, actually, but he goes to the baseball games. He goes to the pre-games to try to catch a bunch of baseballs. I don't know if you've seen him on YouTube or anything, but he'll take a bag with him, and like whoever game he goes to, he'll have 2 hats. He'll put one hat on trying to get the balls from them, then he'll switch to the other hat, try to get balls from them. But while the game goes on, he just wears an MLB hat. I'm like, come on, man, like what team are you picking here? But he actually travels around to all the stadiums going to the games. They were actually talking about trying to ban him away from New York so he couldn't catch the Aaron Judge home run of beating the records or Albert Pujols. Wow. So it's quite funny on that. But no, I would not wear an NBA hat. It would be straight Miami Heat. It would be Phoenix Suns. It could possibly be I'm playing. It would just be those two and I'll be done.
Man. Listen,
do you have a jersey? I'm sorry. Do you have a jersey of New York or anybody? Because I feel weird wearing jerseys of other men. Like, I don't care to wear a T-shirt.
Like a Knicks jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do? See, I feel weird buying someone else's jersey. Like, if it says hero on the back. I feel weird when, like, hey, hero.
Jerseys are collector's items, man.
Well, but to wear them. Like, I just would feel weird. And if I had his autograph, hang them up or whatever, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, autograph is different. But, yeah, of course, definitely wearing jerseys. Yeah, for sure.
See, I've always felt
Jalen Brunson statement, New York Knicks jersey.
I love that voice when you get to it.
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, bro.
I just feel weird wearing another man's jerseys.
I don't really look at it that. I mean, I just like to support my team and the shirt jersey is whack.
No.
I have a couple of those, but those are just like wear around the crib. Jersey is like, you're going out, you want to wear a jersey.
Now, if I were to wear a jersey, it would want to be like the authentic kind of jersey, like the $75, $100. Like I would want one of those,
$75, $100. You'd be lucky to get it. Yeah, you'd be lucky to get a jersey for $75.
Well, no wonder I don't like them. But I'm saying that when I say a shirt, I don't know if me and Perry are talking about the same. Like I'm just talking about like a T-shirt that says like Oklahoma City, like Thunder. Just a fan shirt.
Not the jersey shirt.
No. I don't care to wear stuff like that.
Oh, so you don't have any jerseys?
No, not to wear. Like I said, Now, I would be fine ordering like a Miami Heat jersey, have 00, and have Lawson on the back for myself. Like, I think that would be cool.
But you would buy like a Jimmy Butler jersey just for like collector's item, though.
I would collect it and hang it up, put it in a case and stuff like that. Like, one of my cards and stuff like that. Haven't tried to get an autographed one.
You should. I mean, Booker, I don't think he's not going to be a Phoenix Sun for his whole career, bro. So you might want to get on that. It's going to be a good jersey. That's going to be a nice jersey. Devin Booker. First team. It's his first team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay a Sun forever, bro. I mean, it's just.
But how expensive are they?
Nah, I'm just saying in due time. I ain't saying getting it right now. I mean, yeah, but they are kind of expensive. Nike, Mitchell and Ness is probably a better option.
Okay.
I've been getting fire jerseys for $35 off this site, but I think they got shut down. That's tough.
Hey, well.
See, I'm not. I'm good. I'm good with Fanatics. Fanatics have deals sometimes. Just got to check it out. Michael got a book jersey.
I get these guns out, man. I get arrested. Can't go places with those.
See you, man. All right.
I do have my concealed license, so it'd be okay as long as they're got a sleeve. That's why I don't do the NBA jerseys. I can do baseball jerseys.
It's a method to the madness. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
But now that we got way off topic, we got a few more teams we got to get in here. We're almost to 2 hours here. Let's see here. We want to go Denver Nuggets next?
That's good. Okay. Oh, no, Minnesota. There was some.
We got both of those.
Yeah, it's Timberwolves first.
Okay. So, of course, we got Minnesota Timberwolves last season, 46-36, with the addition of Rudy Gobert this year. So I actually like to pick up for the Timberwolves. Now, I'm not going to say I like what they got rid of or had to pay for him, but I do like Gobert coming over because it's going to move Cat to – that's another jersey I need. Karl Anthony Towns. That'd be pretty nice, too. I like
you get those Kentucky guys, NBA jerseys.
Yeah.
That's a nice that'd be a nice collection, bro. I'm not going to lie. Kentucky NBA jerseys are the Kentucky guys.
Yes, sir.
Pass that down. That'd be fire. But you're doing the card things too, so that's good.
I've got to stick with one because I'm doing cards and fishing fishing's about to break me already. So because I can't cast well, and like I buy a lure and like, hey, this is $6. I don't really want to buy that, but hey, it looks good. 2 casts and it's gone because it's in a tree. So I've been trying to buy more cards and fishing lures. But anyways, Timberwolves that'll move Karl Anthony Towns to the 4, which I think is going to be more of a natural position for him. Not so much with his back to the goal, which is kind of a lost cause in the NBA anyways. Plus he even won 3-point contest this year, so moves him out a little bit more where he can do that as well. I actually think they take a bigger step forward. I don't know as far as a record. Do you think they can move it up to the 50 win? Because the West,
I go there, right?
I think he's definitely 4 more wins, but at the same time, the West has got a lot better as well. So that's my only if on there. I think they flirt with the 50. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I think they're over the 50s now that we're in this conversation. Ant-Man, I think skyrockets even more this year. I think that's going to be where it all lies, how he plays this year. I think Timberwolves, I'm going to say to the moon, but I don't really mean it because the Pelicans are really my team to the moon. So, yeah, that's another team. Pelicans. I can't say Zion. Actually, I should get a Zion jersey because, I kind of look like him.
I'm weak. Trying to get the Zion jersey.
Yeah, man.
Again,
we eat at the same restaurants all the time.
It's another good jersey to get. It's not going to be a Pelican this whole career, so.
I don't know. No, I'm lying.
It's not happening, bro.
So what do you think of the Timberwolves this year?
Should Gobert makes them 4 wins better to get into 50 wins. That's tricky NBA math. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we could use that. Sometimes we use that. But like you said, the West is better, but they're also better in the West. Right. So, they're a part of that better. That makes the West better. So,
right.
They're going to be good. Gobert. This is what I said, and this is what I said when it first popped off. I said they're going to have to play. They're going to have to communicate on defense. They go up against a 5-out team like a Dallas, Clippers, Golden State, they have to be able to communicate when it comes to rotations and things like that, because we know Gobert is not the best when it comes to going up against a 5-out type team. So if they match up against a team like that, they have to talk on defense and really rotate, pick up for one another. That's it. D'Angelo Russell, I don't know. He's kind of just like he hasn't gotten better per se, and he's still
peaked.
He's good. Yeah, he's good, but it's not like he's gotten better. It's really everybody. We still talk about that All-Star year, but after that, he hasn't gotten better since that year. So I don't know what I expect around 16, 5 assists from D'Lo. I mean, I don't know. He's still, like I say, still talented, but he's not like a key option. Mm-hmm. He's really.
Do you think 5 is the top though?
He's really dipped down to like a 4th, 5th option on a team now, which is really good. Which is good if he's your 4th, 5th option, perfect.
Of course, they got Austin Rivers. I don't know. He wasn't on the team last year.
Yeah, Austin Rivers is. Yeah, I mean those are veteran pickups that you need to because you traded so much to get Gobert. You got spots open, so that's a good pickup for them. Brian Forbes, knockdown shooter. That's a good pickup. Naz Reid is a solid backup center in the NBA. Kid out of LSU.
What about Kyle Anderson? Was he on the team last year? Was he with the?
Kyle Anderson was in. He was in that.
Spurs.
He was with the Grizzlies.
Okay.
He's with the Grizzlies, and now that's a good pickup for them. He's a wing. He can play make. He can defend. He plays at his own pace. Taurean Prince is also solid. Wendell Moore, supposed to be a shooter.
Perry, you need to get you a cup, man.
Get that cup, yes, sir.
But it's gonna. Yours, by the way.
Oh, I got it over there. Yeah, but Gobert, man, you have to be aggressive, brother. You have to be aggressive, man. You got to be aggressive.
Now, when you're saying aggressive, I'm just assuming for other people who may not understand, you're talking offense on that aggressive. Like he needs to step up that way.
Yes.
Because we know we're going to get defense from him.
I need 20 and 12 every night.
And there's really
there's no excuses. I need 20 and 12 every single night from Rudy Gobert, bro. You got 2 guys on your team now that can score 25. And Utah, you have 1 guy. Now you have 2 guys that can score 25, 30, 40, any given night, 60. Cat hit 60 in the game before. So you got guys that could, by themselves, score 60 combined a night, 55 minimum.
And really, that's
so for you, he should be able to get in the paint, do dirty work, offensive rebounds. If I get a mismatch on the screen, flash, show my hands, flash so I can get the ball, easy catch, go up on his head. 20 and 12, every single 20 and 12, 2.5 blocks a night. No excuses. No excuses, man. If I'm Ryan Finch, if I'm Chris, I think it's Chris. Might be Chris. If I'm Chris Finch, I'm telling him. As soon as he comes to the facility after the press conference, everything's all good, showing the jersey. Yeah, honeymoon face. After the honeymoon face, yeah, like, oh yeah, Rudy, yeah.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Send up come to my office tomorrow. I'm like, all right, back, coach. This is what I'm telling him, like, yo, listen. You need to score. And if you score, they can't play 5 out because they have to keep a traditional big out there to stop you. So in hand, you force them back to how you want to play. Absolutely. If you score. But if you don't score, they're just going to play 5 out.
And put you on an island.
And since you're not doing anything on that side of the court. So that's what that's the first thing I'm telling him. That's like I'm not even shaking his hand. I'm not shaking his hand. I'm not saying hello. I'm like, we need you to score.
And even thinking that he has to score 20 points, like he really don't even have to do anything
20 points
fancy
is so easy. It's so
to get
easy.
those. Because look, I mean,
It's so easy,
Russell,
bro. You should be able to get the
pick and
20 so
roll.
easy.
Edwards, you can run pick and roll with. Even Austin Rivers, you can run a pick and roll with. Like you've got 3 guys that you can run a pick and roll that's going to be in that lineup.
Not even just pick and roll. How about, let's start making moves for yourself.
Right,
Get
but I mean,
ball,
I'm saying
dribble on his head. Like what Tracy McGrady said. He was like, there's no way you're not working on your offense in the offseason. He should be be so advanced right now offensively. I don't get it. I don't know why he's just kind of just doesn't do anything on that side of the court. He could be one of the greatest players ever if he worked on that side of the court. But he does defensively, but he doesn't work on his offense. I don't know. We're in year 9. We're in year 9, and he doesn't do it. That's why we're so enamored with Wembanyama, because he has the defense of Gobert and the shooting ability of like KD. Gobert is just on one side, which obviously he's making a lot of money just doing that one side, but you could be in today's NBA where these bigs aren't as tall as you. He's 7'1". There should be no excuses as to why he's not getting 20 points. You're 7'1". Like,
yeah, I mean, look, really, the 20 points should come easy. Because even what I was just going to say was just with the pick and rolls, like you're not even have to create really yourself. Like you're going to be creating mismatch things off of the pick and rolls. If they aren't able to do anything, you've got the mismatch, like you're saying, hard dribble, what my coach used to call it, the horse dribble, where you use your rear, put them under the goal, and just dunk on them. You know, the Shaq move where you pretty much where you just dunk on them. And that's it. There's at least should be 8 points on that alone. And then not only that is you set off-ball screens. Like the man should never be still on offense with all that firepower that he's going to have. If he's setting off-ball screens constantly, if they ever switch, turn around, you're going to have, again, a mismatch going to the hole. Should be able to catch it and not, again, creating anything. One dribble, carry on up to the goal. That's all this man has to do. So really, if he plays more of I'm going to say, a motion offense with the guys that he has and keeps himself active by trying to focus on getting other people open, he's going to be getting himself open much, much more. Because, I mean, if you got Austin Rivers coming off of a off-ball screen and he's already knocked down 2 shots, you know your guy that's guarding you is going to hedge that a little bit and try to cheat out to delay so this guy could get through. Well, if he cheats a little bit, you communicate already with your point guard. Say, hey, I'm slipping this next time. Look for me. Or, you've got that communication that you should be developing, that that's going to be happening. You've got that look that you give that little hand motion to. Boom, it's right there. Boom. I think, and I may be talking too fast and I apologize, of the LeBron James. I'm giving him praise here, guys. Perry, hopefully you're listening. The LeBron James where he goes out, fakes the pass, and then just throws the no look because both guys go out to his shooter out there and leave the guy going to the block wide open. That should be what Rudy Gobert is getting constantly. Now, he's also got to man up a little bit and maybe talk to some of his guards. Hey, listen, this is what's going to be happening here. I'm setting this pick. This guy's going to be coming here. Look for the shooter coming open. If he's not there, look for me curling because my help defense is going to be small on me. Give me the ball, and I'm playing bully ball. So, I mean, this offense with the 5 that we're talking about out there has quite a bit that they can work with from all around. I mean, pick and pop with Cat, pick and roll with Gobert, isolation with Ant-Man, baseline isolation. I mean, Russell can definitely create his own if needed. And then some off-the-ball screens for Austin Rivers to get a shot up too. This is a good-looking team that if they can put everything together and make it look good from the beginning and stay fluent, they can make a good run, I think. Now, what are they going to get from the bench, though?
Right, yeah, exactly. That's a big point. And is going to have to be the guy. He's going to have to develop and be the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, Cat, I feel like he still has that ability to become the guy as well. He just got this. He just got the extension, so they believe in him.
As they should.
They want him to, be that guy for them long term. Both of those guys, him and Ant, it's going to come down to how great can they be?
Mm-hmm.
How great can they be together as a duo? And again, Gobert. Got to be aggressive, brother. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe no one's ever told. I just feel like it's impossible that no one's ever told this man, like, yo, bro, if you score, you know that eliminates that 5 out. And when Quinn Snyder, when they kept losing, I was like, listen, give the ball to Gobert. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. And if he doesn't, and if he doesn't know what to do with the ball, we're gonna see that firsthand. And then we'd be like, yo, he can't. I mean, we already know that he's obviously not offensively gifted because
right.
But it's the simple fact that he doesn't even need to do anything crazy. I'm not asking him to be Hakeem Olajuwon in the post. I'm saying simple post, simple. Again, like I said, yeah, simple screen off, back it, play it down, get the ball, entry pass. Mm-hmm. You see the switch. If you're a guard, play with your head up. A lot of these guards do not play with their heads up. They just play down, dribble. If you play with your head up, so many things would be open. He didn't play with his head up. You play with your head up, you see, oh, I got the big man on me now. I got the big man's on me now. That means the guard is on Gobert. Let me get that to Gobert real fast. Boom. Real fast. He can either go right up or dribble. Got to make your free throws. Got to make it, because what they're going to do, they're not going to let you just dunk it. So what you got to do, they're going to foul you. So if they foul you, you got to knock down your free throws. And even if you're going 1 for 2, just keep going up for the dunk. Stop being scared that you're gonna get fouled and you're gonna miss a free throw. Ben Simmons. Feel me?
Ben Simmons. So I guess really,
where can this team go? Could this team? They could be a top 6 team. They could be a play-in.
But it's up to Gobert.
Defensively, when they went up against the Grizzlies, they blew leads. I mean, I guess they feel like that's where we want to go. It's not just up to Gobert. It's up to Ant, Cat. It's up to all 3 of those guys and their head coach, too. I just feel like they really could have beat the Grizzlies last year, and they folded. They folded that series. Man. They had the talent to beat Memphis, but Memphis had the resiliency and the discipline to win 4 times, and Minnesota didn't. And Minnesota, they need to respond this year. They need to do that if they want to be successful.
Sorry, my chair apparently was slowly dropping me, and I didn't want to reach down and raise my chair back up while we was live here. So,
good, man.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Ant-Man and Cat, they have to carry him, but I think Gobert, what we get out of him is going to be, to me, the X factor, if you will, the one that's going to be the dark horse as far as what we can get. Now, we know we're going to get defense from him. And I kind of want to see what Gobert is going to teach Cat as far as defense, because I want to see if Karl Anthony Towns takes a step further on his defensive mind, because we know that was one thing Jimmy Butler was adamant about when he was in Minnesota, was the lack of defensive-minded players there, and it was towards Karl Anthony Towns. And we'll just see if maybe we can see more toughness on him, because Cat should be able to. I mean, he's an agile player for his size, but it's just like he could care less on some of the toughness. And I'm not trying to be mean on it, just kind of giving facts on what we've seen on some of the highlights. Like, he would step away from some of those contact on guards driving down the lane. So hopefully –
he just fades sometimes in games, and I just feel like the only thing I question is now that Gobert's in the paint now, he's going to be a lot more on the perimeter, and I feel like being on the perimeter a lot can give somebody can fade someone out. If you just stay on the perimeter all the time, you're not cutting. You're just out on the perimeter. You're just waiting for a shot, standing around. You're looking. Then you get disengaged. Then your man, the guy guarding you, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna just go help, because you're not doing anything. You're not getting the ball. Your teammates are not looking for you. So
I'm not losing you because you're standing there.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. So I'm just. So that's the only thing I question, and I feel like coaching. Coach Finch It's going to have to set up some off-ball movement, get Cat moving off the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and give him the ball off action so he can get to his dominant hand or get to a spot where he likes to release and get good shots. So that's what they have to do with him. If they just have him out there and he just sets a screen and pops, and if he doesn't get the ball, that's it.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you're gonna win games that way because they're talented, but they need a system, and I just don't know if they have that right now. And we'll see. Again, I think they're not going to – watching their preseason game, I didn't see them do what I just talked about with Gobert. So I think they're a good team, but they're capped because the points I made.
Gotcha. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our last team that we have left. And, of course, that is not the Minnesota Twins. Wow, I'm in baseball mode, too. It is the Denver Nuggets last season, 48-34. Of course, all year they didn't have Jamal Murray and they didn't have Michael Porter Jr. as well. Most of the season, I don't think. I think Michael Porter played a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. So – hopefully this year Murray comes back. I think they called him the Blue Arrow, back with Kentucky. And
Murray is back. He is back.
Murray is back. Already played a first preseason game. Yep. So full strength, if you will. He's the Joker has his Batman or his Robin, if you will. So we'll see how this team. What I'm kind of worried about, and we'll dive into it a little bit more, is how the Joker is going to actually play with Murray after having him away for a while. And I know it kind of sounds like, wow, you're having a guy like that. It should be good, but that's going to take some from Jokic. There we go. Finally said it. A little bit, and I don't know. I'm worried that the ball's not going to be in his hand enough to get him back to comfortable what he's been the past 2 years, really. Because Jamal Murray is going to have the ball a lot because he's that caliber of a player. He's more of a guard heavy or a ball. I'll say point guard.
Score first.
Score first. Guard. Yeah, there we go. So I'm not saying it won't work. I just think it's going to take them maybe a little bit more time to get back to what they were 2 years ago compared to what they have been kind of running their offense now. So I think their win-loss may be a little bit less than what we would expect, but I think they're going to be a good team this year because I think it's just going to take them a little bit to jive back together. You with me on that?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, you're just saying it's going to take some time for them to gel, obviously, because of the absence of Murray for the long period of time.
Because I think last time he played was 19, or no, he played in the bubble, didn't he?
He played after the bubble. It was after the bubble season. That season, he got hurt last year. Yeah, so this is another team that's very interesting because they have 3 guys that could score 30 any given night. So that alone puts you at 90 points, potentially, a night. So you're going to have a shot. Murray coming back is great for the Nuggets because he needed that point guard. Jokic needed help. He just wasn't able to can't do everything by himself. Mm-hmm. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. He has some help now. Michael Porter Jr. also being healthy is a big time thing as well.
Well, I would not have thought the Joker has been in the league for 7 years. Would you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just remembering him like back in the day when it was him and Nurkic, and they were on the Nuggets together, and then they traded. I do remember him back then. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I think it's going to be an adjustment early on, like you said. I agree, but I think they've pretty much been on the team together the entire time outside of 1 year. So, they already have chemistry. They're going to be fine. Getting the KCP, getting Bruce Brown, those are really good pickups. Those are those are versatile wings that can knock down shots, play defense, guard multiple positions. Those are 2 big-time pickups for them. Positions that they really didn't have at the highest of caliber last year, especially to go up against a team like Golden State, which is why they struggle. Jeff Green, just quality vet. just knock down shots, cut to the basket, could do everything. Bones Highland, really good, nice Sean. Bones Highland.
Really I didn't realize that was Highlands.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah.
Right. Excellent young player that they picked up 2 years ago. He's coming there. He's scoring the basketball. He can knock down shots. He's kind of like their sixth man. When Murray's out, he can step right in, and the impact is still there. That production is still there. It's obviously a drop off, but not to the level.
Right.
They have somebody that's not as good as him. DeAndre Jordan, it's kind of washed, but could be a quality vet.
I've always liked DeAndre Jordan. Now, I think maybe in a place like this I won't say rejuvenate his career, but maybe he can be more relevant with a team like this. Because, Jordan's more of an up-tempo kind of a player that can, sky in the air for a ball and just dunk it. Of course, he's 14th year in his season. We didn't really see that with Brooklyn, but those opportunities aren't really going to be with KD and a Kyrie with the isolations, So, I won't say I'll count him out as saying washed too much yet. I want to see how it goes this year with him because I think it could help him a little bit being on a team like this, because if you're in a lineup with Ish Smith, you know how fast he is. That's
Ish Smith,
you're going to get
another quality vet. He's a bucket, short guy, but he gets buckets. He's athletic. He plays hard. Aaron Gordon. I thought Aaron Gordon was going to be, something else. I thought he was going to be a little better, but he's still a good player. I thought he was going to be like a all-star type player, but he's still good. He's a quality role player. He's good for this team. Again, they don't need him. He just needs to knock down shots. Their starting lineup is really good. I would go Jamal Murray, KCP, Aaron Gordon. I would go Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jokic.
There you go.
That'd be my starting five right there, and that's pretty good.
Yeah,
you got spacing, you got playmaking from the center and point guard position. You got shooting at the pretty much everybody but Aaron Gordon can shoot consistently in that starting lineup. You got slashing with Aaron Gordon, KCP, Michael Porter Jr. Defense
and I'm even
should be better.
In an Ish Smith, Murray, Porter. Let me back up. Ish Smith, Murray, KCP, Porter, and Joker on some lineups too.
There'll be some. There'll definitely be some lineups. I think their backup lineup is solid too. You got Bones Highland, Bruce
and we're not even saying him.
Yeah, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green. And then they'll probably have one of the starters be in the second unit, and they'll just move from there. Mike Malone, he's a good coach, but I don't know if he's a championship coach. And he's just kind of been able to stay around because certain things have happened. I thought if they didn't make it, if they had been healthy, if Murray had been healthy and they didn't go far in the playoffs back then, I thought he probably would have lost his job. But since Murray got hurt, it kind of kept him around longer. Yeah. So now this is the year right now. So it's if they stay healthy and they say they get bounced out in the first round, he's going to get fired. But I'm not rooting for that. But he just –
they finished last year in the 6th place. So,
it's
I hate to say
to do that NBA. Yeah, it's tough to do that NBA math.
Yeah.
No. They could get a bad matchup. Say they get the Clippers. Who you liking that matchup?
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say.
Who you liking that matchup?
I would go Clippers. Wouldn't you?
Yep.
So that's why I say it's kind of hard to say. First round bounce fired, just for the fact that
it's just be a collection of everything. Like how. Yeah,
I would say
they had that good bubble year, but then they got bounced out last year. Then
I would rather say if they started off bad,
yeah,
and I'll say didn't meet my standards mid-season fire, I would rather see a fire happen in the season than say at the end because you lost early in the playoffs.
Nah, in the season, I think they're too talented to do that. You gotta keep them there for the whole season. Like if they're like 15 games under 500, then it's like all right. Like, but if they're like 4 or 5 games under 500, you keep them there. You just hopefully put a couple games together and then get to a good spot. But
because Michael Porter Jr. has been hurt his whole career. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think he's been there for so long, and they've been to one Western Conference Finals. And there's things that have happened. Like so Michael Porter Jr. getting hurt, Murray getting hurt. So they haven't been healthy his whole entire coaching tenure. But we've seen guys get fired for much less.
I agree with you. And what's even great about this too is looking at this is you got this Joker for what? 8 years, it looks like, just quick looking at it, somewhere around 6, 7, 8
million, 2028.
Yeah. And then you've got Murray for the next 4 years. You've got Michael Porter Jr. for at least 6 years, and Aaron Gordon for at least 5 years, looks like. So that's
their core.
Even Pope, you've got him for 4 years. So you've got a solid 4 for the next 4 years. Unless something crazy happens.
Just gotta hope those two guys stay healthy.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a shot if those two guys stay healthy next to Jokic.
I would definitely probably load manage them like crazy. Probably more than I would any other player.
But I don't know, man. Load management is tricky because like you're playing them, then you're not playing them. You're playing them, then you're not playing them. Like who's to say that's the formula for success? Like who just said, yeah, that's why.
Excuse me.
Who's to say that's going to avoid injuries? Because Kawhi load managed in Toronto and still tore his ACL on the Clippers. So did load manage really work? No.
True.
So it's just really just
I guess I would baby Porter Jr. for sure. If you felt anything in your back that hurt, okay, no, go sit down. We want you in a bubble.
Yeah, I just hope he can stay healthy, man.
Yeah, man, because has a phenomenal career if he can stay healthy. I mean, he's still just 4-year veteran here.
Yeah, he's very talented. He's very talented. I just want to see. I just want to see them. I just want to see how they fare against these top teams in the West, all healthy. That's what we want to see.
This too is a team that is a small market team that I would say didn't really tank to put together what they have here.
Yep, I agree. So, they are another small market team that did not tank. And Philadelphia, they tanked, and they got
tanked
Embiid
for years.
Yeah, they tanked for years, and they got Embiid, Simmons, but there were a lot of misses as well. Okafor, Zaire Smith. There were some guys. Honestly, Nerlens Noel. Yeah, Noel. I mean, he's a good player, but he wasn't he's not a game changer.
Right.
Yeah, there were a lot of misses for them. Dario Saric. Yeah, they had out of 10, they hit twice. Listen, what you get out of it, you kept one and you got James Harden by flipping him. So is it a bad to some people they'd be like, yo, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. Out of 10 drafts, I got 2 generational guys. And then I kept one, and then I flipped one for another generational guy. And now I'm in the contention to win a title. So I know that's what people are looking at. People look at Philly. I look at Philly and it's just like, you're just tanking over and over and over again. But some of these teams look at Philly, it's like, okay, cool. We'll tank over and over and over again until we get it right. And they got lucky here. Again, Jokic, nobody knew Jokic was going to become this. He's a second-round pick. Again, they weren't paying him a lot of money. And, yeah. So they got to get some luck. There's some luck involved. No one
absolutely.
This.
Absolutely, there's got to be luck. And with that luck, I mean, at the same time, it's some developing as well. We can't deny that.
Yeah.
Coaching staff, the scout teams, and everything like that. Like, I mean, I'm sure they seen some potential with the player, with Joker, and was able to develop in who he is as well. So, I mean, it's even looking back, we were talking about Giannis when I said we didn't think he'd be what he is. Like, the potential we knew was there. We just didn't know how high. So sometimes you got to take a chance and develop. So with that being said, I feel like we've covered them. I feel like we've went well in depth with a lot of these teams. We're 2 hours, 30 minutes. I know we had the trivia pulled up for us tonight, and we're past midnight. We don't have Nick with us. He already sucks really bad and behind us. I don't want to leave him too much. You want to hold that off for maybe next week when we have Nick, hopefully when Nick gets back.
Yeah, we're going to hold that off for next week for when Nick gets back. Guys, appreciate you guys rocking with us.
Yeah, and hopefully next week we'll have another little segment that we can get going here. We want to do a Guess Who, and we're going to go ahead and announce it. That way we hold ourselves accountable so we can be ready for it. And what it's going to be is, bum, 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 Guess Who? No, we don't really have a soundtrack, but that would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? But it's just going to be a Guess Who, someone we're going to start off from the 2000s, probably 2000, 2010. Is that what we said, that era?
Yeah.
Something that is still fresh with most people. Thank you, Perry. We appreciate you coming in and saying, well done, boys. Thank you for being in our comments. Of course, most importantly, if you guys who are watching see Perry on the YouTube channel, like we talked about earlier, go to our Unwrapped Sports Network page on YouTube. Subscribe to that. Get the notification bell turned on. That way you can see anyone with the Unwrapped Sports Network that has a show on. Like me and CJ talked when Connie was on here earlier. They've got the hard count. It's going to be aired on here, on Wednesdays you all are on, I think?
Tuesdays.
I'm sorry. What's on Wednesdays?
I don't think we have anything on Wednesdays.
I thought y'all were on Wednesdays. No, I'm sorry. Is it the I think it's the MMA fights. I'm sorry. But so you guys are on Tuesdays, and then Thursdays is mine and Connie's Backstop Banter. And then, of course, our show's on Sundays. So we have other shows. We've got the Gen Z on Mondays as well. So all of our shows. And, of course, the Bets Unwrapped is back up. And then on Friday, we have Unwrap This as well. So all of our shows that are airing will all be funneled through the Unwrapped Sports YouTube page as well. So go check all that out. Like I was saying, our Guess Who page or our Guess Who segment is going to be, we're going to give out clues. All three of us are going to have a player that played from the 2000, 2010 era, and we'll have certain facts about them. Probably our first week, it might be a little bit more obvious of our clues, like maybe the team, the position, something like that. We can kind of narrow it down. I don't know, just to see how we can
make it tough. We got to make it tough.
You want to make it tough, or kind of be?
Course.
All right,
that's the point. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So should be interesting because there's a lot of players at a decade time for teams. But join us. And maybe what we ought to do, what would be, I think, interesting is after we do ours, if we get our points that we put down for each team or each player and post them onto our Twitter and Facebook page and see if we can get people to guess who we're talking about with the points that we have provided. And to kind of do that each day or something like that.
You could do that. Yeah,
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
of course, if they watch the show, they'll know the answer and then they'll look smart. But I think it'd be interesting to get some feedback from you guys. But with that being said, guys, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Like we said, this is the Northwestern. Next week will be the whatever the Lakers are in. Who cares about that anyways? It'll be our final week of preseason. And then we'll be into the regular season. And hopefully the kickoff for that, we'll try to get us a panel together, get some more guys and gals on here where we can talk some NBA hoops, maybe get some preseason picks, some hot takes, some MVP people who we think, I don't know, kind of do some awards who we think might be Rookie of the Year and kind of get those stuff written down so we can get into it and see how well we do by the end of the year. Sound good?
Sounds great. Can't wait to get into those segments. Season's right around the
Stop sharing my screen here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Season's right around the corner.
Absolutely.
Excited to get it rocking, man. Linktree.com. /CJames9. You can find everything I'm working on, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to catch you guys next week.
Let's see here. Let me click this so they can see that. Boom, there we go. Linktree / there we go. And of course, Count the Bucket USN is our Twitter page as well. Go follow us on there, or hashtag not page. And then you can follow me, MDLawson00, on pretty much any social media. In the bio is my Linktree as well, where you can find everything I got going on. Of course, like I said, I've got the podcast. Of course, check us out on the podcast on all your podcast platforms. But we also have my Backstop Banter, Count the Bucket show. So go check those out. Thursday, I'll be live with recapping some of the playoffs and predicting some more of the playoff games going on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So with that, CJ, anything else you got?
Nah, man, that'll be all. Catch you guys next week.
All right. Have a good one.
Deuces.
There we go.